The Lords of the Fallen extended gameplay has dropped, and with 17 minutes of footage, we have lots of new information about their new spin or take on the bonfire mechanic in Soulslike games. There's also a lot of magic as well as faster combat than what many of us might be accustomed to. I want to break down all the new info. I want to give my own opinion on how this might play out. I think the game is shaping up to be an ambitious approach to the Soulslike genre. I've argued in the past that they may sneak into the Game of the Year running from what I've seen so far. We also have co-op gameplay as well in the new footage, and they approach co-op a little bit differently than games like Elden Ring. Now, I put all the good information right here at the beginning. It's a longer video because I discussed it with the live stream after I'm sort of done with my opening monologue. If you like this kind of content, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my videos or my live shows. The Lords of the Fallen just delivered an extended gameplay video with new details about the game. We have brand new co-op gameplay footage, info about magic, and a new take on the bonfire mechanic. I want to walk through all of the new things from the video while also sort of watching it along with you. There are three big categories or themes that I want to highlight throughout the new footage as well as new info. The first thing is speed, right? In games like this may end up being faster than other Souls games that I have played or that you have played. They draw attention to this, and it's clearly by design. My experience with Wolong, as an example, was one that was a little bit too fast for my taste, so I'll be interested to see where I land with Lords of the Fallen. Second, the theme in this video is magic. There is a lot of magic use in this video. Now, debates around summoning and magic strength in Elden Ring come to mind. Many people would talk about how summoning made the game too easy, or that magic was too strong in Elden Ring. There's a lot of magic in Lords of the Fallen, and the question will be if it's necessary, or like summoning, if you avoid it, will it be a self-imposed form of difficulty? Now, the third theme is fresh takes. I believe this is a fresh take on the Souls genre. You have 2 lives, so they let you die once. There's 2 worlds that you can sort of switch between. There is a different take to bonfires. They're not exactly the same as they are in other Souls games. They're certainly trying to make their mark on the Souls genre, and this boss fight that we're looking at here, I actually think gives us some clues about the 3 types of magic, so I'll be referring back to this fight later. So let's dive in. The first thing they draw attention to is speed and abilities, and they use this boss fight here to show this off. My initial thought is that there seems to be a lot to manage in this game. Underneath the abilities and the diversity is the sort of basic familiar rolling, dodging, and attacking that you may have seen in games like Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring. But then there is clearly a theme of building and leaning into those builds. This sort of slashing cast of blue, imbuing the sword with some sort of blue magic, and as well as very similar abilities from the boss. Clearly, both the speed theme and the magic theme are showing up here, but also the fresh take theme. They show off the fact that you have 2 lives, so you get 1 death. Switching to the Umbral realm seemed to change the boss's look and maybe even the mechanics. You may have noticed we are now in the Umbral realm. He has died, and it seems like the fight changes a little bit. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Like, will the boss change? It did seem to me, at least, that the boss's look changed, the mechanics changed. They didn't really say if that happened, but I think that might be a very good motivation to stay alive. Even though they do give you sort of a 1 more chance after you die, it may make the fight significantly harder. I checked past interviews and I could not find any info about whether boss mechanics, attacks, or difficulty would change in the Umbral realm or not. The Umbral realm is meant to be harder though, so that may have an effect on the boss fights. Now you'll see here, this is a new twist on the bonfire. This is called a vestige, and they plant the vestige at a high cost of resource. Now, that is not always required. They do confirm later in the video. I'll try to draw attention to it. There are permanent vestiges, but after you find one of these little plots of flowers or complete a boss fight, you actually have to use your resources in order to plant the vestige. Now, before I move on, I want to talk about how that boss fight was very dynamic. There were phases, there were different attacks, and again, there was a lot of speed. Now, after the boss fight concludes, we just saw the sort of situation with the vestige. Now, because this cost resources, this new twist and theme could affect how many resting points you have, depending on how well you are doing. If you're struggling or you're very light on the required resource, you will have less vestiges. You will essentially be in a situation where you don't have as many bonfires because you can't afford it. They confirm later in the video, however, there are permanent vestiges to find and use. It's just a matter of how spread out they are. Now, it comes up when they're sort of showcasing how you can voluntarily go into the Umbral realm. If you have both of your lives, you can consume one of those lives and you can go to the Umbral realm. You just saw a second ago using the lamp to see the Umbral realm. You're going to do this sometimes to find different pathways, secrets, areas, treasures. Maybe you're trying to get around a certain place. So there he consumes his one extra life, because you have two, and now if he dies, he's dead. So he is now in the Umbral realm. This also falls under, I think, the fresh twist on the genre. You're essentially going through the game, and there are two worlds with very, very different feels, and it is quite a bit harder when you are in the Umbral realm. Healing doesn't work as well when you're here. You apparently will die faster, and if you die in the Umbral realm, this is a true death. Now, different outlets are reporting on this differently. I could not find a concrete answer. Some say when you die in the Umbral realm, you lose a bunch of XP, while others say you drop the XP. Now, some of the areas are only accessible in the Umbral realm, so your XP would almost be like floating in the sky because there's no bridge there in the Axiom realm. Now, this will likely vastly change game flow for those used to Souls games. Like, if you actually want to go back and get your XP, it may function in a way that might be more challenging. You're not just going to be able to, like, quick run back and grab it. You may actually have to quick run back to where you know it is, switch to the Umbral realm, and then go and try to snag it. Now, Lords of the Fallen may feature more rhythmic XP loss. Right here, they're showing one of the permanent vestiges, and you actually have to use that to leave the Umbral realm if you want to go back to the normal realm. And that rhythmic XP loss that could happen because of these two realms, they may justify it by saying, listen, you have 2 lives, you have that extra chance. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about this. It certainly gives the game its own identity and feel, but there's something simplistic and clean about dying and running it back. This could be a bit more of like a slow falling of down the stairs where you die, you go to the Umbral realm, it's harder, so your second chance is you're very likely to die again anyway, and if your XP gets stuck there, you're now in a tough spot. Maybe we'll get more clarity on this in the future from the devs before the game comes out. Maybe you know, maybe you've scoured more interviews than me or Reddit or something. If you have an answer to this question and how it works, be sure to leave a comment below. This section is where they establish a very common mechanic. You can also use the vestiges to level your stats. Then they start talking about the theme of magic. You'll notice that we're using some sort of fire magic in this sequence. There are actually 3 schools of sorcery: Ruger, Radiant, and Umbral. I believe you can actually see all 3 throughout the trailer, even though they only describe one. Ruger, or Regar, is pyromancy, which is basically fire attacks. You're seeing it used in this little section here. I believe that the Umbral magic is the blue spells because your lantern's blue, the light that you use to kind of see the Umbral realm is blue. So I believe when we saw those blue spells earlier in the video, those were Umbral spells, where he was using his sword to cast like this arcing blow, and then he kind of imbued his sword with the blue power. I believe that Radiant magic is likely the yellow magic that we saw the boss using. Radiant sort of looking like light or lightning or, you know, the power of the sun, something of that nature. So I believe Radiant would likely then be the yellow. So I do believe this video contains all 3 magic types within it. And this is where I think the game could turn into a bit of a dividing line. You can now have up to, in this game, they say, you can have 4 range magic or throwables along with your weapons. And watching the footage, you can clearly see see, they use a lot of magic along with weapon attacks. Combining this with the clear higher speed of the game, I might find myself being overwhelmed. It makes me think of Armored Core 6 and how you can shoot 4 weapons at once in that game with both of the triggers and both of the bumpers on your controller. And you can even combine all of this with the lantern that you carry in Lords of the Fallen. You have like the 4 things that are equipped, like range, throwables, your weapons. And the lantern that you carry can also do a move called a soul flay, and that extracts the enemy's soul, and it does high damage. There was a great mechanic in Timesia where you could do something similar. You would sort of extract and acquire the enemy's weapon for big attacks. It was sort of like carrying an ability with you. My thoughts on this type of content is that I like to master the basics before adding in all of the magic and the extra mechanics. Since this game has an onboarding section, I'm hoping that they can maybe use that to ease me into all of the various things that you can do. I remember playing the Forspoken demo, and it sort of had you far in the game, and you had lots of abilities, and it was sort of overwhelming, right? I like their take on difficulty. They actually said in an interview previously, the reason they have a lengthy onboarding section is because, quote, the difference between motivation and frustration is understanding why you failed. And this certainly applies to more than just hard bosses or enemies. It can also be about understanding how to properly use abilities and come up with good builds and strategies. Essentially what I'm saying is when you have so much at your disposal, so much magic, so many throwables and range attacks, as well as your weapons. I mean, even here, he summons fire-breathing dogs, right? That can lead to choice paralysis, strategy and build, or just decision-making paralysis. It can make it very difficult to make those decisions on the fly because there is just so much at your disposal. They then end up showing some co-op gameplay, and one of the reasons that co-op gameplay in this might get a lot of attention is it is seamless. It is drop in, drop out, and they're not doing that thing where you have to sort of re-summon your partner if somebody dies. You can even get them back up if they go down, and that is something that we covered in previous videos. They're also showing right here that you can use your lantern to manipulate the environments, so there are elements of like puzzle solving and platforming and navigating the areas specifically with your lantern mechanic. So the lantern has multiple functions. You can use it to see into the Umbral realm if you're trying to solve a puzzle, if you're trying to figure out the pathway around, if it feels like an area is blocked. You can also drag platforms and move them as you saw him just do a moment ago, and you can do the soul flay attack on enemies. And here we get a brief sample of what the menus look like if you were to go in and swap your build. He switches obviously to a big huge axe with lots of slower swings. Now, one of the negative pieces of feedback to this footage that I saw in the comment section was the impact of the weapons didn't quite sound as crunchy or as punchy as people would like it. A couple of the sequences, the player is using almost like a double blade build, and it does sort of sound like they're stabbing, I don't know, like styrofoam. It doesn't sound like they're actually chunking or hitting or clanging against metal or flesh. It sounds very weak, so hopefully they can take that into consideration. Now, when they show the co-op gameplay, if you pay close attention, one player buffs the other, and a few times in the co-op footage, it looks as like the other player has the ability to heal the other player as well. They put down some type of a thing on the ground. Now, they did confirm in other interviews that if you play co-op, this allows invasion from other players. I've always found this to be a sticking point for me. I love co-op. I love playing games with other people. I love couch co-op, but I loathe other players interfering with what I'm trying to do. Disruption, trolling, griefing, and meta builds are all things that sort of drive me crazy. If you want to PvP and seek it out, that's great. I'm excited for you. If you want to play PvP in this game, have a blast. But mechanics that invite disruption and interruption are ones that I tend to avoid. It's why I still have not gone back to Sea of Thieves to this day. I get why people enjoy it. I understand. Constantly being in sort of a 1v1 or 2v1 duel environment is quite a bit different than getting to surprise surprise people, and having that sort of randomness and having that sort of situation where you're able to take advantage of the fact that somebody is distracted. The fights are probably a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more emergent. Here you can see some type of a buffing effect that he puts on the other player, as I previously mentioned. And you'll notice in a lot of the fights the interchange here of one player going range and the other player sort of being up in the mix and fighting the enemy. And you'll also notice in one of these sequences, he'll sort of run back to the other player. And again, you can be disrupted, invaded in these parts. And again, I understand the randomness of disrupting and invading someone else's game is exciting. It's also a way to curb down the advantages of suddenly having a partner in the game when it's meant to be a difficult game. They then show there's a minor puzzle coming up that they will show that is solved to advance into a new area. I'll be interested to just see how complex those get. Exactly how much time will it take to solve and navigate around. We do know that the Umbral realm will be included in some of those puzzles. Now, I remember in Elden Ring, some of the puzzles were a little bit veiled, and they really didn't tell you anything. Like, you had to find 2 halves of medallion, and no one was ever really telling you where they are. I remember needing help with that. So I'm not sure if the puzzles in Lords of the Fallen will be like that. Will they be very, very random and vague, or will they be a little bit more linear and easier to understand? Okay, what's being required of me? We also know that using the lamp to find hidden passages, bridges, or pathways will be part of navigating the game, which means there will be times you have to sacrifice a life and go into the Umbral realm, which, given what we've already said about that realm, this could be a challenging way to make the player explore. Similar to Souls games of old or dungeons in Elden Ring, the map or the environment's trying to kill you as much as the enemies. Now, the end of the video, which they're heading to now in the co-op gameplay, there will be a huge boss fight. Now, there are a few things to notice in this boss fight. I'm actually going to try to advance the video to the boss fight, because one of the things that sort of comes into play in this final boss fight is the culmination of everything that we have talked about. First, they are clearly not scared of doing the grotesque and the macabre and big, ugly, awful bosses, right? He's hideous, he's gross, and he's enormous. Secondly, there is a large amount of range attacks that will show up in this fight when you watch it. It feels reminiscent of an action-adventure game, and those are the types of games that I like playing. I've enjoyed the fact that when I'm playing through something like Ghost of Tsushima, which is primarily about melee, you also have the ability to do range attacks and use a bow and arrow. So you'll notice some of the classic rolling, ankle-biting going on here for a large boss, but then a whole lot of use of range. We've got spells, we've got a bow and arrow, we've got a lot of interplay between the 2 damage types and the attack types as well. Even at one point, you will notice they will take to the fight up to a higher level. The floor sort of turns to lava, and it forces them to do this. Now, early in the video, they talked about verticality being very important to their level design, and they really enjoyed using it. And you can see verticality being utilized in a boss area, actually taking things up to the 2nd level. I actually really like the mixture of attacks and mechanics here. This, again, is where you can see them attempting to put their own twist on the Souls genre. The speed of the game, the depth of attacks, magic, range, it all comes to fruition in the boss fight at the end of the video. So what do I think? I continue to think that Lords of the Fallen is going to stand tall this year. It is shaping up to be a Game of the Year contender in my book. The shadow of Elden Ring last year is still looming large for a game like Lords of the Fallen, and the competition this year is very strong. And this extended gameplay trailer is really starting to give a deeper glimpse into how this game will carve out its own identity in the Souls-like genre. But I do want to outline some of my concerns. First, the speed factor. The footage looks like attacks are telegraphed enough to give the player time to react, but speed can become a quick escalation in games like this. There were late game fights in Elden Ring that felt way too spammy for my taste, and utilizing speed to increase difficulty in the late stages of this game could potentially be a huge turnoff for someone like me. I just don't like feeling like the game's going faster than I can. Now, the second thing to be concerned about is the amount of magic in the game. Having this much magic and range attacks can land in a few ways. It can give the player build paralysis, but also create complexity within combat that can fold in on itself. I never want to feel like I'm fighting both the enemy and my own decision making. Too many choices and abilities can make it hard to establish muscle memory, reflexes, and instincts. Lastly, my concern is the Umbral realm. My primary concern here is that the realm is how it inflicts pain on the player. Games like this use pain to teach you lessons, make you grow, but rhythmic and tedious pain can lead to frustration. Not because it's hard, but because it feels like a flat tire. Every death taking me to another realm where, if I die, I may have to revisit just to get my XP back doesn't sound that appealing, which means my fresh life has to potentially sacrifice a life just to get back my XP that is now on the line. Again, this doesn't sound hard, it sounds like a flat tire and a nuisance, but still, we aren't quite clear on how this aspect of the game will work, so perhaps the devs can clear it up and it could put my concern to bed. At the end of the day, my concerns are not that big, and they're certainly not deal breakers. From where I sit, Lords of the Fallen continues to climb closer to the podium of Game of the Year nominations. Only time will tell if they can get up on the stage with the other monster games this year. So let me give you my thoughts and my conclusions. Breaking out into the Souls-like genre can be very tough. I recently did a video where we reacted to an article about Souls games and difficulty, and something that the article really stressed was a lot of Souls games don't understand what difficulty should be. They just make a game hard for the sake of making it hard, and they were saying that's not really what the Dark Souls games or Sekiro or Elden Ring are about. From where I sit, Lords of the Fallen's not really falling into that lane. It doesn't seem like they're just trying to make a game hard for the sake of being hard. They seem to have their own approach, their own identity, and their own idea about how a game like this can evolve. But the speed aspect, along with the magic, could lead to a cliff in the late game or the end game if they're not careful. There were elements where the further I got in Elden Ring, I just felt like the game was being cheap. It was like, well, the only way to make this hard is to make the fights sort of slanted or cheesy or spammy. Now, I know not everybody agrees with me on this, but I thought the front half of Elden Ring was perfect, and the back half kind of falls apart. Secondly, Lords of the Fallen has chosen to innovate in ways that could set it apart, but it could also be its downfall. From where I sit, the game looks to be in good shape, and it offers a lot of freedom, but the Souls-like crowd can be a tough crowd to satisfy. The Umbral realm, the rhythmic version of pain, and the way that they institute your own builds in this game could be something where the Souls-like fans sort of turn on it and say it's either too easy or it's too tedious. Time will tell. Hopefully they were thoughtful about those things. My conclusion is this. Every month that seems to go by, the Game of the Year contender pool gets a little more full. It's weird to say, but I think Elden Ring is actually the biggest obstacle for Lords of the Fallen. The comparisons will no doubt be made, and it could drive expectations into unfair territory. At the very least, I think Lords of the Fallen has a good chance of getting a Game of the Year nomination, but bringing up the victory will actually be the true fight to the finish in 2023. And that's the show open, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. As is our custom, Friday is a little bit different than the rest of the week. We start a little bit later. My second show today with Mike will not be happening, but I have a really, really good upload about Game Pass. You're going to want to check it out. There's changes coming to day and date. I have my own theory about what is going on. I wanted to convert it maybe into a talk show, but I didn't have time, so I did it as an upload. But then we can use the VIP stream as a way to discuss it, which is a great reason to do VIP. And days like today where the turnout is really, really light, these are great days to gift members because you're primarily only gifting to the most loyal viewers of the channel. So consider getting the gifted goal started. Every 25 I give 5. Thank you so much for ordering the coffee. If you order the coffee, reforgeroast.com. Those of you that have been supporting the coffee long term, the light roast is currently in process, and we do have the dark roast available right now. Sorry if I'm late. Will this game run on an HDD? I don't know. There was a game recently that we checked out. Isn't this the one? The Lords of the Fallen actually, funny enough, I know you're being cheeky, but if you go to the Steam page on it, it recommends SSD. It recommends an SSD. So I don't think they're saying that you can't use an HDD, but they're basically saying you're going to want to, use an SSD. It's not going to run very well. No Face Lord says, let's start the day. By the way, you guys are at about 2,500 members. If you get to 2,900 today, Stone Spire will slam home 100 members. So if you guys go big and go crazy right now and gift to basically everybody, then he'll come and he'll bring it. DK Bager is going to bump it up to 6. Thank you, DK Bager. DK Bager got beat for one of the first times ever. He's usually the first gifted member every day. Craig with 23 months, and it's a VIP. Welcome back, Craig. Thank you so much. Yeah, as far as it running on an HDD, it probably won't run too well. I think the concern there would be, especially with, hopping back and forth between the realms, that could potentially be a challenge. Like, those things are, they're potentially being simultaneously rendered, or they're potentially not. I'm not actually sure how they're doing it, because when you shine that lantern, you can see the bridges and things. And after that, it's like, you might not be able to make it. So I got my PlayStation order in. I just got my email. I got my Spider-Man controller, and I got my Spider-Man digital plates. So very excited. That was actually smooth this morning. It was a lot smoother than the last time I tried to do it when they sold the collector's edition of Spider-Man. Rookie question, how do I know if I'm still VIP? I believe if you use the upgrade command, it'll take you to that page and it'll tell you what tier you are on. Joker Quinn says, we can have a big day. As I said, these are the days to go crazy with gifted members because we are primarily only streaming to the core audience. Every time we've covered Lords of the Fallen, it's been a lighter turnout, but then the past broadcast does really well. It's why we want to continue covering it. I think this game is worth covering. I think it's a good game. I think it has a chance to get a Game of the Year nomination, even though it doesn't really appeal to my core audience. MJ jumps in as a member all on their own and is like, I don't have to wait for a gifted member. You don't have to wait for a gifted member. You can click that join button or the $ at the bottom of the chat and become a member all on your own. Make sure you guys are also smashing the like button. When we have a lighter turnout, the likes can definitely make up the difference and help the video and help us meet new people. We do cover a wide variety of games here. This week alone, we've covered Diablo. We're now covering Lords of the Fallen. We also covered the PC port of Ratchet and Clank. We played it. We talked about the devs that they lie. We covered Armored Core. We played Remnant 2. So you get a lot of variety on this channel. Game of the Year, no chance. I don't think it has a chance to win, but I bet you it gets a nomination. When does this game release? This game releases October the 14th. Is that the date? It says it right at the end of the video. Let me see. And it is 13th. Sorry, October the 13th. Narwaffle jumps back in as a VIP. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to make sure you're at a VIP, use that upgrade command. We will be doing a VIP member stream today after the Game Pass upload. Also, don't forget, Friday night, you don't lose members' content on Friday. We do the VIP unfiltered thing, and then Friday night is the stream for everybody. Which that's why today is a great day to go crazy with members, because you can bring a bunch of people along for a Friday night stream with my wife. Won't have time for this one. Yes, it is definitely landing at a time where everything's going to be very, very busy. We've got September with Starfield. We've got October with Spider-Man 2. It's going to be very, very difficult for Lords of the Fallen to kind of capture a lot of press. It's kind of landing at a rough spot. I mean, I personally think it would be better suited potentially for a November release, but it's probably too late to change all of the marketing around Spider-Man 2. Yeah, I think that's a tough spot to land right now. If you've looked at any of the trailers for Spidey, if you've looked at how fast these bundles are going, these Spider-Man plates and controllers, like the fact that they're having to do the queue time on on PlayStation Direct, I think it's going to be pretty tough for Lords of the Fallen to kind of capture some attention. Now, they are very, very different games. However, Spider-Man just kind of soaks up all the attention every time he shows up. Craig says, I'll bring it. We're having a bit of a 5 gifted member train right now. People are gifting 5 back to back to back. Joker Quinn did it. No Face Lord did it. Now Craig is doing it. DK Bager did one. Keep it rolling. If everybody gifts 5, we will climb very quickly back to where Stone Spire is going to have to drop a 100 bomb on the chat. That'd be an amazing way to end this week. The plates sold out instantly. Did they really? I couldn't even get the disc drive version. I had to get the digital version, which I think that's what I wanted anyway. I wasn't going to go for the disc drive. I use my digital one more often. You think God of War Ragnarok will come to PC in November or December? Oh, I have no idea the timeline on that. I was anticipating Ragnarok coming sooner than others, given their past commentary about they learned things when they brought God of War 2018 to PC, and they changed some pipeline in with Ragnarok, but they haven't said anything, so... Iron Hand with 8 months of membership. Interested that you say too many options can be bad and prevent muscle memory reaction time growth. I'm of the opposite opinion. More options equals more better. I was speaking a little bit from my own perspective. Like, I feel like if you give me too many things to do, then it's difficult for me to get into a muscle memory lane. Dan upgraded to VIP, and Athron Zala gifted a member, taking us to 18 members already on the day. We've only been streaming for 29 minutes. Keep it going. Keep smashing like. DK Bager is going to help out as well and take it to 19. Thank you so much, DK Bager. If you guys can't do a big member bomb, you can always do one at a time. There is plenty of people here that watch faithfully every day, and they love those gifted memberships. It's very, very kind. There's a lot of people who cannot do their own membership. Can't get the controller, but without the plates, it's pointless. Well, I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. I definitely think getting the plates, getting the controller without the plates, I think that's totally fine. Choice paralysis is a thing. I struggle with it too. It's not just choice paralysis in the build that I was talking about. So in Lords of the Fallen, there's 3 different schools of magic and sorcery. There's ranged weapons. There's throwables. Mike onto Mike's going to jump on and say, let's keep this 5 gifted train going. Oops. And he gifts and takes us up to 24 out of 25. Thank you so much, Mike on to Mike. Guys, keep it going. Don't let the 5 gifted train stop. Jump on. Look at the top of that chat. It looks incredible. Combat definitely looked like some improvement in the Souls formula. There's definitely some similarities here. DK Bager says, you know what? We're going to hit 25 just that fast. And he bumps the line with 1. Thank you so much. Already at 25 just that fast. Chiseling away at it works, guys. I'm telling you, we have... Well, hang on. With mine, if you guys can get 100 members, that would take us to 26. Plus my 20 would take us to 2620, that would mean you would only need about 200 more after that. So you don't necessarily need to do all of it, because I have to gift 20 every 100, and then Stone Spire would come in with his 100, so we could have a really, really big day. Mike on the mic's going to be the agent of chaos. He says, we're not going to sit there on 25. We do not abide that. We always roll up to the next goal. Thank you so much, Mike on to Mike. Yo, what's good, Feed? Good to see you. DK Bager, you were a little too slow off the draw. Not the agent of chaos today. And that takes us to 27. Good to see you in the chat feed. With me, it's not just choice paralysis in my build. If I have too many things I can do, it's difficult to know, like, do I block? Do I roll? Do I dodge? Do I shoot a bow? Do I throw a bomb? Do I do a spell? And again, this is a personal thing for me. I'm not saying that's a fault of the game, by the way. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for me personally, it leads to a feeling of paralysis. It's like I can't quite get in the lane with the game, because if it's beyond 4 or 5 potential choices in the moment, once you get up into, 6, 7, or 8 potential things I can do, I kind of freeze up. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I experienced this in Sekiro. So in Sekiro, when I did the owl fight, I didn't use any of the shinobi arts. I was just blade the whole fight. And people were like, man, you really made that harder on yourself. I didn't like using the shinobi arts in Sekiro because, generally speaking, it would create debt moments where you would sort of run out of currency and not be able to do them, and then all of a sudden the thing that was really helping with you in the fight, all of a sudden you don't have that thing. So now your rhythm's all thrown off and the fight feels very different, right? So for me, I like just sticking to the basics. So when I looked at this game and I saw, oh my gosh, there's so much. Welcome back, Dirge, to VIP. Good reason to be a VIP, guys, today. Little different Friday. I've got a Game Pass video coming, and you're only going to be able to debrief with me on it if you're VIP. The members-only stream for all members is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern with my wife. We'll be hanging out, having drinks, laughing. It's a bit of a talk show with my wife, and then we'll play Viewfinder. Has anyone installed the new plates on their PS5? Is it an easy process? I believe it's easy. Abe is going to bump the line. He says, we can't let this thing sit idle. He bumps some members to 28. Thank you so much, Abe. The old game's called Lords of the Fallen. It was terrible. The new one has the in the title. No, they actually removed the from the title. You're correct, but not anymore. See? Look, they removed they just went back to Lords of the Fallen. So you are correct. There was a time where they distinguished, because it's essentially Lords of the Fallen 2, but they didn't call it Lords of the Fallen 2 because it's a soft reboot. So they added the word the, and then like a couple of months later, they just took the word the out of it. So now it's just like the previous title. It's Lords of the Fallen. I never said that. Don't put words in my mouth. You're welcome. Thank you. It's super easy, and while you're at it, give those faces a cleaning, says Eugene. So Eugene's saying it's not that difficult to get the faceplates off and on. Good to see you, Blackcraft. Fans, not faces. I was like, clean the faces. Pretty easy. Just pull in the right place. And it comes off easily. Vacuum out your console, peasants. Super easy. I take mine off every month to clean my PS5. Yo, what's good, Kane? Lords of the Fallen. I'm opposite. I love a lot of options, says Casual Grinder. It goes perfect with using the paddles on the DualSense Edge controller. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is I have a DualSense Edge controller, and you know what? I'm going to probably pull that thing out of retirement and use those bottom two buttons. I bet you I'll do it when Armored Core 6 comes out. I am not necessarily looking forward to doing, like, my index fingers and my thing like bumpers and triggers. Like, I could probably see myself doing triggers and then on the underside use the paddles. Yo, No Face Lord just upgraded to VIP. If you guys want to upgrade to VIP, use that upgrade command. Thank you guys so much for everybody tuning in. Closing in on 400 viewers. Let's get 200 likes on the video, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Fridays are always a little bit different. I start later. I usually pick a more self-indulgent title or topic, and Lords of the Fallen is one that I know isn't necessarily going to draw the big crowd, but it's one that I'm interested in. I even said that I think you can see all the types of magic. I think that's Radiant, and I think the blue is Umbral. And then later they show us the Ruger, and that is pyro, like fire, like pyromancy. And so there's 3 magic schools in this, and I think you can see 2 of them on display right now. Again, I think the yellow is Radiant, and then I think the blue is Umbral. Good morning, but also good night. Cheers, mate. Good to see you, Polarin. Butters says, if there's too many things for me to learn or understand at some point, it does not feel like it's worth the investment time-wise. Not this game, but some games can be like that. Lona got the whole console? No, I just got the plates. I already have 2 PS5s. I didn't need a third. I was tempted to get a third. Trust me, I was. Because it'd be nice to just have one that's always in the office and then have the 2 out in the living room, but it's just, I don't know. There has been times where both of my kids are playing on the PlayStations, and it's like, I want my own, you know, on Saturdays. But I figured if I bought that console, I was gonna probably end up regretting it, right? I don't need 3. Now that I said it out loud, that like, oh yeah, sometimes on Saturday I need a third console, I'm kind of regretting not doing it. I am actually kind of regretting not doing it, but I figure if I ever want to get a third one, I'll just wait for the price drop and then I'll buy one, right? When they unify the SKU, and if the price drops, I could probably just grab another digital and throw it in the office. PS5 Pro will be your third. That's actually a really good point, Big Juicer. I can just wait late next year, get myself a Pro, and then I'll have 3, and that'll be mine. That'll be mine. The Pro will be mine, and the kiddos can play on the standard PS5s. Getting a pro anyway, chill the F out. No, I know. I didn't get it. I got the plates. I didn't buy a third PlayStation. I was good. I didn't give in. I didn't give in to temptation. I didn't give in. Bro gonna have 3 PS5s in the house. Well, I mean, they're business expenses. I'm not like going out here. I don't buy almost anything for myself, so. Zala with 2 months of membership. Appreciate all your content. Lono, you always do an amazing job researching each topic for the show. I hope you keep blowing up on YouTube and Kick. Yeah, I typically don't stream on Kick on Fridays, though. It's just too much trouble trying to set up the second show if I'm on Kick. So today, I am just on YouTube. And we are, we're not doing too shabby for the lighter turnout. We just need 22 more likes on the video. We've already gotten 28 members. Stonespire may stroll in today and try and provoke you guys to do more members. He's got a goal for you guys, and we have a bunch of big incentives for August. July is basically over, but we're trying to kind of pad the numbers so that when you roll over into August, you'll have a nice head start on the incentives. When I get my pro, my girlfriend will get the regular. Do we have a clue what the pro will be launching with? No. I don't know if they're going to try and launch it with a game. Maybe Wolverine. 3 PS5s. We give Lono too much money. We got to chill out. They're business expenses. I'm not out here treating myself. I don't even let my wife do the whole, when she goes to the butcher, I'm like, no, just get the ground beef for burgers. I don't even let her get me ribeyes. I got a ribeye for Father's Day, and I think the one I had before that was 7 months before that, and it was for my birthday. So I might tell that to my wife. It's a business expense. Yeah, it's a business expense. I'm doing research. You beat Spider-Man? I beat the first Spider-Man, and I cleared the map. I did everything you could possibly do. And then I also, I didn't beat Miles Morales. I didn't have time. I really wanted to play it. I was incredibly busy. Don't waste money on meat, woman. That's PS5 money. That's right. Rumors are that the PS5 Slim will go for the 5nm APU, and it'll get rid of the liquid metal cooling. Yeah, I saw some people doubting that rumor as well. I'd say it's a safe bet to assume there'll be a new game that'll be pushing the Pro at launch. On the Pro, what's the purpose? You guys are hijacking the show. This is not a PS5 Pro show. We are 40 minutes in and we're not talking about the topic. So we've either got to cut bait and get the heck out of here, or we've got to actually talk about this game. I can't do that. You're cannibalizing a show right now. PS5 Pro is not the topic. My chat tripping, or the emotes get way bigger? That happened to Eugene yesterday. He had the emotes all of a sudden they were larger for some reason. How do you think Lords of the Fallen will run on the PS5 Pro? How do you think Lords of the Fallen will run on the PS5 Pro? Well, Lords of the Fallen, this is actually a subject worth entertaining. This is one of the first big titles to drop on Unreal 5. And we've talked about this before, that FromSoft's engine is got some jank in it, okay? We know it's got jank. We know it has, some challenges with frame timing and inputs and stuff, okay? So the question is, if we start getting Souls games in Unreal 5, can Lords of the Fallen sort of set the stage? We know that Black Myth Wukong is Unreal 5. I believe Wu Chang Fallen Feathers is also Unreal 5. There's a handful of Unreal 5 games coming that are attempting to do Souls games, right? And I'm not sure if we're going to run into any issues with that, because it hasn't really happened prior to now. Unreal 5 is sort of the next landscape of gaming. There's a lot of games and a lot of companies moving to Unreal 5, and in my estimation, it hasn't proven itself yet. We've seen demos. We've seen really, really cool samples, but we have no idea if it's going to turn into good, optimized, well-running games, right? That's fundamentally going to be the question about Unreal 5. You can keep showing me all these amazing demos and stuff, but we've got a handful of games on the horizon that will be the true test. Lords of the Fallen is probably one of them, and then Hellblade 2 is the other. I'm beyond tired of these games. It seems like every single game copies this format. It doesn't create any kind of creativity. Well, I mean, that's what today is about, is Lords of the Fallen is sort of a fresh take on the Souls genre. It is very different. It has a lot more magic in it than the Souls games that I've played up to now. There is two worlds. There's the Umbral realm and there's the Axiom realm. And those two realms are ones that you can you can switch in between. When you die, you actually go to the Umbral realm. You get one more chance, so they are doing a bit of a spin on the, when you die, it's a huge punishment. Well, when you die in this game, you get sent to the Umbral realm. You can voluntarily go to the Umbral realm, and you also have a lamp. He uses the lamp here to do soul flay and does a huge amount of damage to the enemy. And that lamp can also sort of shine on the environments, and it will show you different pathways, secret bridges, and hidden things. And you can voluntarily sacrifice one of your lives to go to the Umbral realm. So I would actually say this is an example of a game that is trying to innovate on the Souls format. They're not just giving you another, run around, roll on the ground, use a sword, use a shield. They're certainly not dialing in the cliches and the tropes of Souls games prior to now. Seems like the first time that people got their hands on and actually played something Unreal 5 was the Matrix tech demo, and even that had its own problems. That was mainly meant to sort of show off. That was meant to sort of show off. That was meant to show off like what it could do, but that wasn't like a polished and complete game. It was just sort of a demo. Love the look and the idea of the game. This looks very creative. It's crazy people think it isn't, says STO. Is every Bethesda game the same because the art style is similar between Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Starfield, Wolfenstein? Well, I don't know if he was saying art style. I think he was sort of saying, enough's enough already. I think we're just sort of beginning to see the resurgence of, maybe not the resurgence, but the explosion and the expansion of the Souls genre. Elden Ring certainly took that and exploded it to a certain degree. I think Sekiro sort of laid the seedbed. Sekiro won Game of the Year. It was a very, very good game. And then Elden Ring became the most anticipated game of last year. It won Game of the Year. It was probably the most commercially successful game last year as well. It was a cross-generationally supported game, and it did very, very well on virtually every platform. So I think that right there is going to cause reverberations in the gaming market. You're going to see more and more companies say, hey, let's make a game like that. It's become more popular. People really like it. I think what's going to come down to is creativity with mechanics. I know Timesia did some really cool things. Lords of the Fallen is going to do some pretty cool things. I do think art style is where it would be nice to sort of get out of the gothic, disturbing, macabre art style. Lords of the Fallen certainly feel... Ooh, ouch. Lords of the Fallen certainly feels like it's landing in a lane where it does feel familiar, Again, the gothic, creepy, macabre, dark, disturbing, destroyed world. I don't think we always need to have things looking like this, but I also think there's expectations. Like, it needs to have a serious tone, a somber tone, and if you don't have that serious and somber tone, you might not appeal to the audience that looks for these types of games. Like, if you go cartoony, if you go... more lighthearted, it might not sort of deliver the feel that you want. But I definitely think we maybe could do something that is very, very not gothic, dark, foreboding. we could do something else. Butter says, I don't see a lot of fighting or Souls games having magic and physical both being used at the same time on one character. It's awesome in my opinion. Very cool way of standing out. However, I don't play many games like this, so maybe I'm wrong. Well, you can use quite a bit of magic in Elden Ring. I don't know if this game is trying to have magic be more interwoven. So instead of being like, oh, you have a magic build, Lords of the Fallen feels like you have a build that includes magic, if that makes sense. You're going to have a melee weapon or two. You're going to have magic. You're going to have potentially a range weapon. And a lot of the footage here, he's using a bow and arrow. So he's got two blades at his sides that were like glowing. I believe that yellow is the radiant magic. The Rugar or the pyro magic is the fire. And so it doesn't necessarily feel like you're doing a magic build. In Lords of the Fallen feels like you're doing a build that includes magic. I don't necessarily know if you're going to play this game and never touch magic or never touch range. It seems like they're interweaving it all throughout these fights. Magic equals range attacks? No, not all of the time. In the one fight, he has a blue sword and he swings it and it sends this big, huge blue blast across the fighting arena. There's also bows and arrows, and then there's a ranged magic like Kamehameha that his teammate just did. There's also imbuing magic. He's like back there just shooting stuff. There's like imbuing magic where like you imbue the weapon and then you hit them and then it does that damage. So I'm sure there's going to be enemy types, boss types, and fights that are maybe more susceptible to certain types of the three schools of magic, the three schools of sorcery. Let me get the sub goal up because you guys already started out really, really strong and we can keep it going. We're at 28 out of 50 already on the daily member goal. I gift 5 every 25. And Stone Spire has committed to doing 100 bomb if you guys can get us to 2,900, which is only about 300 more members. And here they're showing off co-op gameplay. Now, what they don't show in the co-op gameplay is the fact that you can get invaded. That is something that will, be potentially taking place. Now, I don't know if this is meant to be a player that they're fighting here, because he did kind of ambush the guy. They don't say anything about it here. They're just kind of looking, and then that guy comes blasting in. I don't know. That he moves like an NPC, but that could be a real player. And, the 2v1 aspect should make invasion not that troublesome. Now, I don't know if you can be invaded by a duo. Yeah, I would assume you can, depending on what people in your region are doing. I'd be more interested in this game if it had difficulty modes. So I'm confused. You think there's too many of these games. You don't think they innovate enough, but you think they need to give you a difficulty mode. What's the reasoning behind that? Why would you think these games need difficulty modes? Difficulty settings in games like this seems a little bit contrary to the art direction and the style. Yo, my man Meech with 22 months and a VIP, creeping up on 2 years. Keep it up, Lono. Your content keeps me sane while I'm at work. Thank you so much, Meech. I appreciate you. Right there, you could see the flowers on the ground. So this spot here, what they run past right there, I think. No, those aren't flowers. Never mind. The flower spots look similar to that. Like the ground's kind of blue and kind of laden with magic. That's where you can put your own bonfire. There are permanent bonfires. They're called vestiges. But there are vestiges that are already there. But then if a vestige isn't there, you have to actually use your own resources to plant one. I don't have time to sit there grinding and getting good. I just want to experience the gameplay, the style of play, and be done with it. See, I think the challenge there, though, is you're wanting to experience gameplay, but not in the way that the devs intend it to be experienced. So, Sekiro doesn't work with easy mode. Like, the game they made, the art direction, the style, the combat, everything, the boss fights, if you're like, well, I just want to experience the gameplay, but that's not the gameplay they designed. It would be like saying, yeah, I want to watch Lord of the Rings, but can you turn it into a 30-minute sitcom? Well, no. It's a 3.5 hour long movie. The first movie alone is close to 4 hours long if you watch the extended cut. Well, I don't have time for all of that, but I want to experience the Lord of the Rings story. Well, you're not going to be able to experience the Lord of the Rings story if you want it condensed down into like a 30-minute episode. And that's it. That's all you want to watch. You don't want to watch any more than that. Well, in these games, easy mode would be tantamount to that. You're changing the game itself. You're changing the fabric of the fights. You're changing the authorial intent, the intent of the author, the people making this game. They don't design it with that in mind. So to suddenly put in a difficulty mode would mean it'd have to completely rethink, rebuild and changed philosophy of damage output, of how fast the enemy moves, how quickly the enemy aggroes if you try to heal or something to that effect. You couldn't. Now, sure, you could go in and turn on like a God mode, you know, get a mod or something and turn on God mode so you simply can't die. But again, I don't think you're experiencing the game as it's designed and as it's intended. It would be like playing Returnal and saying, yeah, but if I die, I just want to go back to a checkpoint. I don't want to have to go back to the beginning. The potency of the emotion, the adrenaline, the intensity, everything's on the line in a game like Returnal because it's a rogue. If you remove that element from Returnal, it's not the game that the developers made. It becomes a different game, if that makes sense. These games are designed to sell more controllers. That's funny. Easy modes in these games are experienced through builds. Like, at one level, I resonate with what you're saying. You're like, I don't have time for all that, man. I just want to sit down and game. I don't have time to be sitting here stinking, getting good and struggling and losing and failing. Like, I 100%, right? I 100% understand why somebody would feel that way. I do. But I also think you're sort of asking the game to become something else. The experience that you would have would not be would not be the experience that they designed. You would almost have to have it. You'd almost have to have it set up from the very beginning to have it. If you just suddenly add it later, it would not work. It wouldn't work because you got to think about, like, take this fight for instance. Every attack, especially ones that have very, very long telegraphs. So a telegraph is when they make it clear what's coming. So right here, you see they go to swoop. See, there's so many frames of opportunity there. And then you can misjudge and you can roll early and get hurt. I think he got out of the way of it, right? And those telegraphs are meant to teach you when to get out of the way. Now, if you remove how much damage a really long telegraph attack does, the fabric of the fight changes. You're not properly being punished by missing the... Oh, was that a parry or a stun? Hang on, let me turn off the player controls. Yeah, he did some kind of a parry there. So he swings, he blocks. Oh, yes. He does a block, and then he does a parry. Oh, that's right. In this game, they said this. So the way parrying works in this, if you mistime the parry, it just blocks. So he goes up too early, right? He goes up too early here in this first swing, and it's just a block. But then he resets, and then he times it, and he gets the parry. Now, the reason they said that is they said that they wanted parrying to be something that didn't require perfection, right? Because if it requires perfection, doesn't that move look familiar? Doesn't that move look familiar? Going up, getting wings, and then blasting at the player. That's like right out of Elden Ring. They wanted parry to be something that... And now, so he died right there, okay? This is another way they innovated on this game. He died, and he's now in the Umbral realm. Now, the question is, does that change the fabric of the fight? Do the mechanics change? Does the boss change? The boss looks roughly the same, but she also looks a little bit different. I don't know. It could be a phase thing. Like, now we're in a different phase of the fight because the boss starts using a lot more magic. But again, it could be a phase thing. Was that another parry? I think that might have been another parry. Yes! That was another parry. Nice. Crucible Knight says hello. Yeah, it looked like a Crucible Knight move, didn't it? For the record, I wouldn't touch these games with a 10-foot controller cable. They aren't going to lower themselves down to players. You either step up or don't play. Which is a different artistic vision than something like Square Enix with Final Fantasy 16. Saying it's not for everyone isn't an argument. If I buy it on PS5 because I like the art style, and then it's obtuse and difficult, to me, that's bad design. Give an easy mode item or less souls for easy. No, saying it's not for everyone actually is an argument, because the inverse is... You're saying the inverse. You're saying that the game should be for everyone. Well, you just invalidated your own argument by saying that Well, telling me it's not for everyone's not an argument. Okay, well, the premise of your argument is that it should be for everyone. If I buy it because I like the art style, but then it's obtuse and difficult, that's bad design. That's not what determines bad design. Your lack of information gathering and research is your own fault. Like, if you go and buy Returnal and you don't know that it's a rogue, and then you die and go back to the beginning, you can't be like, well, that's bad game design. I thought the art style was cool, and I thought the gunplay looked cool. What? No, that's absolutely silly. Like, you're establishing a desire, and that's totally fine. It's fine to have a desire, but you can't turn your desire into a judgment of, well, I desire the game to have easy mode, and if it doesn't, I judge the game to be poorly designed. But that's not what determines good or bad game design. That just determines that you're not getting what you want. That's kind of like what Wheezy is saying. It's like getting mad at a basketball game for not being a racing game. It's like, well, I want this game to be different than it is, and if it's not, then it's bad game design. It would quite literally be like playing a rogue and saying, well, the lack of checkpoints is just bad game design. I couldn't finish my sentence. On PS5, you get no refunds via the store. Yes, this is why you watch trailers. This is why you read descriptions. This is why you watch a YouTuber named Reforge Gaming. You have plenty of information right now to not get into that scenario. Right? You have no excuse right now to accidentally buy this game and then be like, oh, I can't get a refund. Yeah, I got the PS5 plates and the controller, yes. Co-op's like easy or easier. It certainly makes it a little bit easier, but you're also going to be, you have the chance of getting invaded. Eugene says, some of y'all's not struggled for hours on a boss and felt the thrill of victory, and it shows. Yeah, I mean, I've gone through a bit of a conversion experience. Right? I can argue that from my perspective because it's an opinion. Opinions can be wrong, though. They can be wrong. If you watch a sports team and you're like, I think they should go for 3-pointers the whole time, and if they don't do that, that's just bad coaching. That's an opinion that can be wrong. You watch a football team. I don't think they should ever run the ball. They should only do flea flickers. That's all they should do. And if they don't do flea flickers, then that's bad coaching. Okay, that opinion can be wrong. Approaching a Souls game and saying, well, it doesn't have difficulty settings, that's bad game design. Well, that opinion can be wrong. You're not simply saying... So, like, an opinion would be, I don't like games that don't have difficulty settings. That's an opinion, right? Saying, oh, no, that's bad game design. Well, now you're making a qualitative judgment. And if you want to substantiate your qualitative judgment, you would need to establish, okay, what's wrong with the game's design? Is there stuff that's broken? Is it philosophically, backwards? Is it requiring too much precision from the player? Is it too punishing, right? Is it imbalanced? Is there a power disparity that makes the game, just absolutely unenjoyable, even to people that like Souls games? Like, substantiate why it's a bad design. The way that you substantiate it's a bad design is, well, I want something that it doesn't give me. That does not substantiate or prove bad game design. It simply shows that you don't like the game. The conclusion is wrong, is what I'm telling you. You can conclude, this is what I want. I won't get that from this game, therefore I don't like the game. That's totally fine. That's a logical conclusion. It's not a logical conclusion to say, I want easy mode, I want difficulty settings. This game doesn't give me that, I then conclude it's bad game design. No, that's a non sequitur. It doesn't logically follow that because you don't get what you want, it's bad game design. That's not a logical way to argue an opinion or a position. That's not reasoned. It's purely asserted based on opinion that, this is something that I want. There's specific emotions and experiences these games are trying to invoke and give you. That's their intent, and changing that destroys their vision for the game. I'll say that. These games don't provide me with the experience I want, therefore I avoid them and stick to Paw Patrol games. That's right. My conversion story is... So why is your answer more right? My answer is not more right or more wrong. My answer is simply facts-based. If you're going to argue bad game design, it needs to be based on objective things, not subjective opinion. Bad game design is a qualitative judgment. If I'm going to say, yeah, that game's got bad game design, well, what's the matter? What's wrong with it? Oh, it doesn't have an easy mode. Oh, okay, but that's not facts-based. Lono's position is respectful of authorial intent. Right, like somebody writing a book, making a song, making a movie, or making a video game, and you come to that piece of art or entertainment and you say, I want this from it. And they're like, well, we can't give that to you. And they're like, well, then that's just bad directing. That's bad writing. That's bad game design. That's not how you argue that. That isn't. Like, it would be like going and watching Toy Story with your kiddos and being like, I want a bunch of violence and car chase scenes. And if I don't get it, that's just bad directing. I'm sorry. You're approaching something that doesn't have the intention of giving you that, demanding it, and when you don't get it, you conclude that it's been poorly directed or written. My point is, I personally would prefer Souls games to have an easy mode or items to make the games easier. I couldn't give a toss about the high. I want to relax and have a little challenge. Right. And that means you should be looking at other games. I'll give you the inverse, Treble. Let me flip this around. People that really like Souls games, if they went and played a game like, I'm trying to think of a game that I'm trying to think of one that isn't that difficult. I'm going to have to create a hypothetical. Let's just hypothetically say that Ghost of Tsushima also didn't have difficulty settings. It just had normal, right? So let's say a Souls player goes to play Ghost of Tsushima and they say, this is stupid. This is bad game design because I want the game to be brutal. I want it to punish me. I want to get that high and that feeling that you get from overcoming a really difficult boss. This game's poorly designed, okay? It would be exactly the right thing to do and be fair to say, if that's what you're looking for, Mr. Souls player, you're not going to get that from... I've invented a version of Ghost of Tsushima that doesn't have difficulty options. It actually does have lethal, and Souls players probably like lethal. It probably makes the duels really, really fun. Right? So a Souls player coming to a game that isn't difficult enough, you can't demand that of the game. The Souls player saying, I think this is a poorly designed game because it's not hard enough. It's not punishing enough. You would tell them, well, then go play a Souls game. Would you not? Go play Demon Souls. Go play Dark Souls. Go play Elden Ring. Go play Sekiro if that's what you're looking for. Ghost of Tsushima is not going to give you Sekiro. So you're saying the inverse of that. You're coming to Souls games and saying, yeah, I just want to take it easy. And a Souls game is like, I can't give you that. Just like Tsushima can't give you Sekiro. It can't give you that experience. It wasn't designed to do that. If you guys are just tuning in, we're checking out the latest Lords of the Fallen gameplay. We're having a bit of a difficulty discussion debate. We've also talked about ways that this game stands out and is different. If you've got questions or input of your own, if you know how the Umbral realm works, I would love to know what happens when you die in the Umbral realm to your XP. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That's how you talk in my chat. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribing costs nothing. We are working on a big member goal. If you want to guys start gifting some members, see if we can't provoke and summon the big boys to chat. Somebody drop a double and tempt the big boys. Let's get a 30 out of 50 and see if we can't get a 20 bomb today. Let's just hypothetically say, oh, thank you so much, Ikagang, for the 14 spot through Super Chat. I appreciate that, Ikagang. Let's just hypothetically say, says Treble Champ, that they had a separate mode, and it was called Casual Lazy Guy. You get double life, less damage, and they had normal sweaty mode. That would be sweet. But you would be playing a game that they don't want to make, and they don't want people to play. That's not what they want. I've argued I still reserve the right to buy it and complain if it's too hard to annoy Souls nerds. I would say that your position is, I don't mean disrespect, your position's stupid, brother. That's a stupid position. I'm going to intentionally buy a game that isn't what I want so I can complain about it to annoy Souls nerds. I have no respect for that position. That's ignorant. That's foolish. Lone Wolf gifted a member to Justin Mueller. It's totally fine to say, this is what I want. Lone Wolf's going to walk it. He walks it to 30. Let's see if we can't tempt a 20 bomb to drop on chat. Thank you so much, Lone Wolf, for gifting those 2 members. I have zero respect for that position. Like, it's more respectable to be like, these games aren't for me. They're too hard. I don't feel like sweating. I avoid these games sometimes because I'm not in the mood for them. Intentionally buying a game that you know you're not going to enjoy, and they're like, well, yeah, I'm going to complain about it. I'm going to annoy Souls nerds. You sound like a child. That doesn't sound like the behavior of a grown man at all. Eugene says, everyone who played Sekiro got to Genichiro and experienced the same roller coaster of emotion, difficulty, hope, despair, and then it clicked. And when it clicks, the eureka moment, and then the victory. Yeah, I mean, my conversion story happened like when these guys said they got to go play Armored Core 6, and then they got the surprise of getting to interview Hamamura. Is that his name? He's the guy from Sekiro. I would have had to thank him for what he did to Sekiro, because Sekiro changed me. Like, it's a personal journey. It's a personal journey. What happened to me at Ishin, I got all the way to Ishin. I had beaten most of the bosses up to that point in about an hour or less. Most bosses didn't take me longer than an hour. Ishin took me about 5, and it almost broke me. And when I broke through the other side of the Ishin fight, I was different. It fundamentally changed me. There are experiences in life that change you. It alters your perspective on not just games, but on life. And Sekiro did that. It's probably the only other game that's ever done that. Well, no, 3 games have had an impact on my journey as a person, my journey psychologically, my journey spiritually. One of those games is Hellblade. I played that game 3 or 4 times. The other game is Ghost of Tsushima, and then Sekiro. Sekiro probably being the most potent of the bunch. It was a life-altering experience. And I went from wishing I had never played the game to it being one of my all-time favorite games. It's one that I want to go back and revisit one day with the knowledge and the experience. And, I'm better at those games now than I used to be. Elden Ring didn't do that for me because I felt like the back half of Elden Ring fell all the way down the stairs. I did not enjoy the second half of Elden Ring. He said he was joking. That's so annoying. I still reserve the right to buy it and complain it's too hard to annoy Souls nerds. And then you're just joking. Like, that's just annoying when people do that. You're just coming in pretending to have a debate and a discussion. Take the day off. Like, that's annoying. To have a fun discussion and a fun back and forth, and then to say something silly and be like, I was just joking. Remember Elden Ring? It was fairly boring, in my opinion, to replay the same zone 40 times and get nowhere, but appreciate the art style and the gameplay. Found it frustrating. Why did you replay the same zone 40 times? What were you doing? Why would you do that in Elden Ring? Listen, man, it just sounds like you're not good at these games, and that's okay. Like, it just sounds like you're not good at these games. That's okay. You don't have to be. You don't have to be. Why are you replaying the same zone 40 times? I never did that in Elden Ring. I was constantly moving, exploring, finding new areas. New dungeons, new cave systems, new bosses. I don't know what in the frick you were doing in Elden Ring. Did you get lost? Like, game of the decade? Sekiro was my first From game, and if there was an easy, difficult to switch to, I would have not had the experience that I had. I would have been robbed. Well, and for me, I had that experience in Elden Ring, right? My experience in Elden Ring was my first playthrough. I used summoning way too often. I had Tiche, and Tiche literally killed bosses for me. And when I played through Elden Ring the second time, and I went sword and shield, no summons, it was a very different experience. I felt like I've actually experienced the game. Because he got stuck at the tree sentinel. I'm not good at them, but I want to enjoy them. Right, but it's like I said, it's like saying I want to enjoy the Lord of the Rings movies, but I only want to I only want each movie to be 30 minutes long. You're not asking to enjoy the Lord of the Rings movies when you say that. That you wouldn't experience Lord of the Rings movies. You'd experience some like bastardized version of them. To say, I want to enjoy Elden Ring or Sekiro, but I want an easy mode, you're not asking to enjoy Sekiro. You're not asking to enjoy Elden Ring. You're asking to enjoy some mutant form of them that wouldn't be the game. It would be some other thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? They make a game from the ground up. From moment one, this is how the fights go. This is how the telegraphs, the iframes, every moment of this fight has been handcrafted to deliver something. And the minute you turn on a hypothetical easy mode, that this fight becomes something else. It becomes something else. I want to climb Mount Everest, but I want a smaller version that's easier to climb. Right. So you didn't climb Mount Everest. You didn't achieve the height and the feeling and the euphoric satisfaction of getting to a summit that a tiny percentage of humanity has experienced. I get the crux of the argument, but a movie is passive. It's an analogy to show you they would have to make so many fundamental changes to the game that you would not be experiencing Elden Ring. You wouldn't be. I mean, I gave you an example from Elden Ring. You can play Elden Ring and you can summon every fight, and it dramatically changes the fight. If you added into that easy mode, it wouldn't even be Elden Ring. It would just be, it would be sword swing simulator. Just go in and swing the sword. You don't really have to do anything. You don't have to dodge. You don't have to get out of the way. You don't have to finesse. You don't have to learn. All the things they put in the game for you to learn. I'll give you another example. Let's think about a puzzle game, okay? I was playing The Room VR, and very few of you watched the video. So if you haven't watched it yet, try to give that video some love. We got the pleasure of being sent a VR unit, and the VR videos don't do that well because VR is a niche market, okay? So if you haven't watched the Room VR review or any of my VR reviews, make sure and check those out. In the Room VR, you're going from location to location, and you're combing over clues and symbols and things that are trying to get you to solve the puzzle. Now, if I had an easy mode where I went through the puzzle and could just go up to every single portion of the puzzle and just like put in a skeleton key and blink, it would just do it for me, I'm not experiencing the game that they designed. Well, I'd love to experience puzzle games, but I just can't figure them out. So an easy mode would really, really make it more enjoyable. Okay, I would not be experiencing the puzzle game. I wouldn't. I'd be experiencing just almost like a click simulator. Like I'd go through, I'd click, 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 click. Oh, cool. That was a really cool puzzle. What do you mean it was a really cool puzzle? You didn't really solve it. You just pushed a button that just, it's like you can play Final Fantasy 16 with that one ring on, and you can literally just keep pushing the same button if that's what you want to do. That was something that they put in their game because the artistic vision for their game was not to be one that, was inaccessible. Weezy says, fine, perfect example. It's like trying to learn a new skill like playing a guitar, except that you don't want to practice or try. You just want the guitar that plays itself for you. Right, that would be another one where, well, I want to play, Stairway to Heaven, but I don't want to have to learn how to play it. I just want to be able to strum my hand up and down. I don't want to have to learn any of the hand formations for any of the notes, right? I'm just going to sit here and strum my hand, and when I strum my hand, it's going to do everything else for me. Well, you're not playing the guitar. I really want to play the guitar. No, you don't. That's not playing the guitar. That's moving your hand back and forth. Just like in the puzzle game, I wouldn't be solving the puzzle. I wouldn't be playing the puzzle game. I would be pressing a button, and it would all be kind of happening for me. Easy mode in a game like this, you wouldn't be playing Lords of the Fallen. You wouldn't be playing Elden Ring or Sekiro. You'd be playing Button Press Simulator. Go in the room and just press the button until the enemy dies. Butter says, that's what I do, but there are people that like to discover the story themselves. Oh, what if people just want the story? I should play the game, brother. Watch it on YouTube. You can save yourself a lot of trouble and a lot of heartache. If you really want to experience the story in Lords of the Fallen, just watch YouTubers play it. It costs you no money. You hold a controller and pretend it's you, right? Like, you can experience the story of Lords of the Fallen and just watch it on YouTube. And that doesn't cost you a dime. Jim D with 3 months and a VIP says, oh yeah. There's a big difference between artificial difficulty and difficulty that is intentional. How would you define artificial difficulty? I totally get what you're saying and I agree, but to play devil's advocate, I don't think having an easy mode where enemies have a little less HP would completely destroy the dev's vision. Yes, it would. Because that requires a ton more work. It's never as simple as like, oh, is hell slower now? Oh, okay. So are you going to kill him before he gets to his phases? There's all kind of bugs and permutations and things that can come from that. Let's just say you lower the boss's health, right? You just lower his health. Okay. That could glitch out phase 2. That could glitch out the handoff from phase 1 to phase 2. It could glitch out the ending. It could glitch out mechanical advancement of their attack patterns. They've got like 5 or 6 different things that they want to have happen in the fight, and you're glitching past them because you're killing them too fast. All of that would have to be debugged, and they'd have to go through and make sure that it works properly. You're asking the dev to go back and completely retune fights and retune mechanics and make sure that nothing gets broken, again, so that you can play a game that they're not designing to be like that. You're asking them to break artistic vision and do extra work so that you can have an easier time in their game. Lords of the Fallen is co-op like Elden Ring, or can you play the whole game co-op? It's seamless co-op. You can play the whole game co-op if you want. Artificial difficulty example is a boss being a bullet sponge instead of making the boss AI better. Yes, arbitrary raising of stats, I believe, is a legitimate example of artificial difficulty. I agree with that. That's one example of artificial difficulty. Oh no, I love your rants, and to be at the end of one was an honor. I mean, you took it in stride. I don't like when someone says something and they're like, I was just joking, like it's just a prank, bro. Other than that, I feel like you took it in stride. I like discussions like this. Wicked says, you don't know, you aren't the game designer. Souls games are like Souls games are about overcoming the odds, not babying you because you don't want to play the game that they made. I still want an easy mode or a medium mode. Yeah, and here's the reality. Here's the reality. This comes down to... This honestly comes down to... What would this be, Zubair? Would this be bright lines on the genre? Right? Like the bright lines of the genre, if you're making a Souls-like game, there's a bright line. You're not crossing it. There won't be an easy mode. You're looking at Souls games and you're asking it for something that just you're never going to find. If they set out to build a Souls-like, you're not getting an easy mode. It's a genre-defining attribute. Maybe there's bonfires, maybe there's not. Maybe there's currency loss, maybe there's not. Yeah, a sharp division that's clear to see. Yeah, that's a bright line. And I think that's just something you either accept and try to overcome, or you accept and you avoid it. I think those are your two decisions. There is no path forward where you get your easy mode. There just isn't. There's no future where a Souls game, like, now there might be indie titles, smaller studios, AA studios that decide, well, we really like Souls game mechanics and we really like Souls game fights, but we also think we can include easy, normal, and hard modes. You may get that. I think it would be a rarity. It would be anomalous. It would be something that's outside the bell curve. It wouldn't be normative. So you're looking for something that would be the exception to the rule, which basically, reinforces the rule to a certain extent. You are more than welcome to want it, says Wheezy, but at the end of the day, it's artistic intention versus consumer want. You want them to do something that they don't want to do. Don't be surprised. There's so much balancing and intention put into these games around the experience that they want to provide players. Now you're asking for them to double that work because their vision is very intentional. These devs wouldn't just adjust damage and health. I think that's the other thing, is you got to be careful that you don't armchair dev this. Like, it's not as simple as like, well, couldn't you just make me stronger and them weaker? That would have dramatic effects on every square inch of the game. Every enemy's health pool, animation sets, action sets, like their attack patterns, the phases. Do they get enraged? Do they act differently when they're low health? Those are all things that would have to be completely retuned if they did that. The devs should do all they can to ensure people can finish the game. Why? If I pay for a game, I should be able to complete it? That's a false axiom. That's a false axiom. If you pay for the game, you have to be willing to do the requirements within the game. If I pay for a puzzle-solving game, and I'm a dum-dum, and I can't solve the puzzles, I can't go, herp derp, bad game, I should be able to complete the game. They should have made the puzzles easy. No, that's a false axiom. Just because you bought a game doesn't mean you get to dictate the vision of the game. Right. That would be like saying, well, I bought Lord of the Rings. I've only got 30 minutes. And if I can't watch in that 30 minutes, then that's a failure. That they failed to make a product that I want. Please say axiom again. Why, do you like that word? Why are gamers so entitled? It's brilliant design, actually. Devs risking the player quitting the game because of a challenge, but providing all the tools to be able to overcome the challenge. So if you pay for a course, you should be able to pass it. Congrats on the wildest take of the week. It is weird coming from Kane. Isn't Kane the one that was like, what was it? There was a game that he said I should get good at parrying, and he was really good at parrying. It was some Souls game. I disagree. Human Fall Flat 2 needs an easy mode. You aren't being forced to buy the game. If I spend $70 on a game and give the money to the devs, then I should be able to complete the game, and the devs should ensure that is possible for all skill levels. Yeah, that's a false premise. That's an entitled premise. I think it's devoid of reason and logic. It's an illogical premise, and I reject it. It's not logical. It's not grounded in reason. That's an unreasonable form of entitlement. It's unreasonable. That would be like me buying a chess game and being like, I should be able to beat the master level chess master at the end, and if I can't do that, then they should have ensured that I could check some easy mode box at the end to beat it. What? No. They set out to build a chess game with degrees of difficulty as you play. It gets harder and harder and harder, and you can't complete it. You can't beat it until you get to the chess master level required to beat the final chess bot. They do not have to ensure you're able to beat it. They don't have to do that. Like I said, it's an unreasonable premise. It's so illogical that it falls to pieces. Like it's not one that you can build an argument on. Because you can't approach any other game that way. You can't. Like, leave Souls games out of it. Whether it's a puzzle-solving game. What if it's a platforming game and you're just not good at the platforming? Right? You get to the end and the platforming is just too hard. You keep falling. You keep mistiming the jumps. Well, I should be able to finish this game. The devs should have ensured and took extra dev time to create like a skip ahead easy mode. I can't get past this. Oh, okay. Sorry. You're creating undue harm on developers. You're creating an impetus that would put undue harm on all developers. Every game ever made would have to give you a cheat button, basically. You basically want Game Genie built into every game, else you might waste your money. Like, you can't overcome Returnal. They should have given you a button to press that lets you just beat Returnal without the rogue mechanics. There are plenty of people who probably have not beat Returnal. I've not actually, quote-unquote, beat it. I've done one full run. I think you got to do 2, maybe 3 full runs to get all of the info, all the lore, all the endings. No way he's serious. Yeah, Kane may be playing a role today. I feel like he's a big Souls guy, so what he's saying seems a little strange. He may be being hyperbolic just for the sake of the discussion. Kane's not a troll. He might be trolling, but he's not a troll. What is Game Genie? Chat froze? Yeah, chat definitely froze. Because now it's moving really quick. Lono, do you think that they would sell more copies of it if they had an easy mode? I'm one... they'd go out on a sale. For me, I wonder how many people would be like that. Actually, that's an interesting question, Treble Champ, because if they suddenly added easy mode, you would lose sales. Yo, what's good, Kane? Welcome back in. You would lose sales, but you would also gain sales. So the question would be, is there a net gain? If I pay $70, then I should be able to complete the game even if I'm bad. Yeah, I think Kane is quite literally just being hyperbolic to put on display the absurdity of the claims. I don't think Kane's being serious. You also have to account for the people that won't buy it. If you add easy mode, some people won't buy it. That's right. Because the minute you add easy mode, you're harming the identity of the game. You are. And you lose a lot of people. So let's give an example. Let's say there was this big, huge niche audience. Actually, not niche. Let's just say, because Souls games aren't really niche anymore. So let's just say I'm gonna create like a thought experiment. Let's say there was a huge audience for chess games. And people that really love chess and chess masters around the world buy these games and they try to beat them. Okay. And a game comes out that says, we're going to be the next chess master game, Chess Master 5, and we decided this time around to add an easy mode. So if you get to a certain chess level and you cannot beat the AI, we're going to add an easy mode. A humongous portion of your chess master audience would say, I'm not buying that game. That is not what these games are supposed to be. You're harming the identity of chess master. So when someone walks into the market and says, Souls game, here's a Souls game. Here's Lords of the Fallen, Lords of the Fallen 2. I don't know what axiom means, but I should be able to complete. You spelled it right the first time, Kane, you idiot. Kane is trolling. He's being ornery. You guys, he was the one who gave me all sorts of grief about something in Sekiro. Was it Sekiro when he was giving me a lot of grief? So if you walk into the market with this game, Lords of the Fallen, and you're targeting the people that like Souls games, and you put in an easy mode, just like in my example with Chess Master, there would be a lot of people that would say, well, I'm not buying that game then. And listen, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what difference does it make to them? don't play it on easy mode, right? That would be your comeback. If you like Souls games, just don't play it on easy mode. Doesn't matter. You've corrupted the identity of the game. It's no longer a Souls game. It's a game with an easy mode. They wouldn't buy it. Consumer perception is everything. It was Sekiro. An axiom is a statement or concept that's accepted as true. Right. Wheezy's like, I'm one of those people. Lone Wolf says me as well. Yeah, a lot of people would be like, I'm not buying the game then. It's not a Souls game. I'm not interested in another hack and slash action adventure game with an easy mode. I'm just not interested in that. Now, here's the funny thing. Solaire of Astora, welcome back as a member. And by the way, the big boys aren't here today, but if you guys want to push this member goal, these are the best days to do it, all right? Not the days where we're fighting with console tribalists. This is the core audience right now. These are the best days to push the member number really, really high. The shared experience is gone. Right, I was going there. So Eugene is saying the shared experience is gone. So you can't really commiserate with people who beat the game because you're not all having the same experience. Right? You can't have this sense of, oh man, what'd you think of that fight? Oh golly, yep. Second phase got me too. Gee, knee. It was so tough. How long did it take you? 3 hours? It took me 6. Yeah, I just couldn't get past phase 2. Here's the thing, though. The same people, like Wheezy and Lone Wolf, the same people that would not buy a Souls game if it had easy mode, buy games like Ghost of Tsushima. Why? It's all about expectations. If you launch an action-adventure RPG that has pieces, like let's just say the combat and the movements reminiscent of Souls, but they don't market it as a Souls game. There's no Souls mechanics. There's no punishing, campfire mechanic. There's no punishing fights, right? DK Bager's going to poke the line. Come on, guys, help this guy out. This guy all day, every day is just poking that member line. So that is really the rub, is that it's all about expectations. If you set the expectation and you say, yeah, this is going to be an open world action adventure RPG, and we've got easy, normal, hard, and extra hard. Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor are great examples. You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting. Legend Status says, the Melania hype in Elden Ring doesn't happen if there's an easy mode. She literally created YouTube careers. That's exactly right. You don't get that organic thing. Let Me Solo Her, that guy became legend. He got sent something. Did they not send him something? Let Me Solo Her? Dude made a career, basically. I don't know if he's still doing stuff. I don't know if he's actually earning a living, but became legend and was sent something by the developers. Crispy Bogod! Yes! Somebody's dropping bombs today. There it is! 51. It's the go-ahead. We haven't had a big day in a while, and Crispy Bogod says we can try. We can certainly try. Thank you so much. Pushing it all the way there. Hang on a second. I want to read what Wheezy said. In Monster Hunter World, the final update boss was extremely hard. The community at large spent hours or in some cases days attempting to fight. That's a shared experience that we all have. That's exactly right. Yeah, they sent him a sword or something, didn't they? Come on, somebody compete. Somebody compete with Crispy Bogod. Don't let this guy have all the glory. Somebody bump it to 55 and tempt somebody else. Come on. These boys are here. They're hiding. They're hiding in the chat right now. Elden Ring devs sent their most infamous player a commemorative sword. That's amazing. You don't get that. You do not get that without that. Yo, XCal's gonna help. He bumps it to 52. Thank you so much, XCal, for gifting a membership. 5 from Lone Wolf. There it is. 57. 57. The 20 bomb still works. It'll be a nice 77. It'll be the go-ahead goal. It'll be the Agent of Chaos. Thank you so much, Lone Wolf. Over 2,500 kills. The guy was a beast. Yeah. The wonderful thing about Melania was 100% optional. That's great game design. The Fighting Cowboy channel would be very different if Souls had easy modes. See, and I think that's the special thing to walk away from these games with. Is that Casual Grinder. This man's been sitting on the fence in retirement, and he's coming back out with big bombs all the way to 77. Casual Grinder. This guy went crazy, I think a month ago, and he's just been sitting quietly, and there he goes. Thank you so much, Casual Grinder. It's a 20 gifted member train. Crispy Bogod, then Casual Grinder. Who's the next one? I'm telling you, if you guys can get it up high enough today, with my gifteds alone, we will force Stonespire to drop a 100 bomb. Let's do it. These are the days to go crazy, because it's just the core audience watching. You're not going to get like drive-by hate watchers getting memberships. 5 gifted members from JW takes it to 82. Thank you, sir. Now, another 20 bomb would do it. It would walk it to 102. Nice little layup there from JW. Who plays Souls games over and over and that's it? A lot of people, that's all they play. A lot of people, I'm telling you, Souls games spoil them. They love games like this. They love to find the shortcuts. They love to speed run. They love to challenge themselves. They'll do a naked run. They'll do a no-hit run. And Crispy Bogod drops a 20 bomb all the way to 102. There it is. I'm going to give you guys a member count in just a second. Let's see if we can actually force Stonespire today. This man, Crispy Bogod, bringing the heat today on Friday as we end July and walk into August. There's some big member goals next month. And Javier Cotto drops a 20 bomb, takes it to 122, right on the doorstep of the next milestone. That's one of the ones I like to scream. I feel like I'm shouting about a soccer game. Javier Cotto. Love it. Thank you so much, Javier. It's a 20 gifted member train back to back to back to back. Crispy Bogod, then Casual Grinder, then Crispy Bogod again, with Javier Cotto currently taking the lead, and a gifted member from Chris DND to Fur. Thank you so much, Chris, taking us to 123. And just like that, we're having a monster day. I will give you guys a count in just a second. I love how quickly it can turn. It's so amazing. Souls fans are excited to overcome the challenge. And a gifted from Lone Wolf. Here comes Lone Wolf. This man loves to walk it all the way to the line. Probably going to do one more for 125. Thank you so much. A $5 super chat tip from David Solis. Adding an easy mode in this type of game will destroy completely the legacy of the genre, which is why the genre is famous. I love this channel. Javier, love you, man. Appreciate the generosity and the support. And there it is, the crown. Bing! 125. Thank you so much for doing that. I now owe you guys 25 gifted members. So with my 25, that takes us to 2630. 2630. You're only like you're basically 200 away, because I have to do mine. You're basically 200 members away from forcing Stonespire to drop a 100 bomb. 5 gifted members from Darth Nihilus takes us to 130. Thank you so much. And another one from Javier Cotto. Thank you so much, Javier. 131 out of 50. You guys are bringing the heat. Just bought Remnant 2. Should arrive in a few days. Hope it's hard. Remnant 2 is pretty tough, actually. It's got some tough stuff in it. And you can increase the difficulty in that game. 132 out of 50. I was playing it on easy, and it was hard, Kane. I was getting whooped. Now, there's I know you guys make fun of me for this, but it can get a little stun locky. Even people that like the game are like, no, yeah, it can get a little stun locky. And there's some damage from out of frame and stuff that can happen. You've really got to keep your head on a swivel. You know me well. Oh, man. Zubair, are you here? Zubair, the most casual grinder believes. Casual Grinder believes in the vision. He says we can do it. 152 out of 175. Look out. Look out. Here it goes. It's taking off. We're going there. We're going all the way. You're here. If you watch the latest Strange New Worlds, so good. so good. Oh my gosh. I was extremely pleased. Oh man. Woo-wee! What an episode, Zuby. Oh my gosh. I was like, I don't want to spoil it. I don't even want to say anything. If you are not watching Strange New Worlds, oh my gosh. That episode was a slow burn. It was a slow burn, but it was worth it. Oh my word. I was telling my wife, like, I gotta talk to Zuby. This is so good. Oh, Casual Grinder going for the big one. This guy wants to get what is the Eknor? He's going for the Eknor award. My brain froze up on me. I was like, what is the award? The Eknor award. Thank you so much, Casual Grinder, taking us all the way to 172. No, I'm not watching the campfire chat today. And another 20. The 20 gifted train continues all the way to 192. Coming in from JW himself. You guys are tag teaming this. And the debate man today, the one that wants easy mode, he stayed in the ring, he stayed respectful, good sparring partner, treble champ with the 5 spot, taking us to 197, and another one, another 20 bomb from Crispy Bo God, taking us to 217 out of 225. You guys do not hold back. When we make the call for the members, they come down like thunder. Thank you so much, Crispy Bogod. It is a 20 gifted bomb train. Back to back to back to back. And 8 months of membership from Chris DN Defer. Love Strange New Worlds. Hope this season is longer than the last. I don't think it's going to be. But if they go the distance like most Star Trek shows, man, give me 9 seasons. I'll be happy. They seem to be having a good time. Season 3 is already booked. We're just going to have to figure out this stupid actors strike. The studios have got to get their dadgum heads on straight. Holy guacamole. I was gone for a few minutes. Yes, absolutely massive day. I'm going to give you guys another member count because now I owe you 40. I owe you 40 members. With my 40 members, that's 2747. You guys are 150 away. You're 150 away from forcing Stonespire to drop 100 bomb. He's got to drop 100 bomb. It's actually not even that much. Not 150, because another 100 would add 20. You only need 130. Shocked I didn't get a membership with all those gifted. That's crazy. Make sure you have it toggled on, Wicked P. If you go to your membership page, hit the 3 dots. If gifted's already toggled on, toggle it off, back all the way out, and then go back in and turn it back on again that you can accept gifteds on this channel. And guys, while you're at it, if you're enjoying the show and the discussion, we debated easy mode quite a bit. We need 50 more likes on this video. There's over 300 people here. It's a lighter turnout, but we're going to have more members than viewers if we play our cards right. You guys are absolutely going crazy. What a record that would be. I don't know if we've ever had more gifted members than viewers. That's insane that's even a possibility right now. He says, nah, rude. They can crash that car on their own. Listen, Diablo's been very good to us, Wheezy, but we're kind of letting our Diablo videos cook right now. I have a video on this channel that we did this week and on my other channel, and they're cooking. Casual Grinder! This guy's unstoppable right now. He's taken the crown for the day. Another 20 bomb. 237 members on the day out of 250. Casual Grinder says, I'll take that action. I bet you we can have more members than viewers. And here it comes. Thank you so much, Casual Grinder. Javier's like, another one. That's right. Unstoppable. He took like a month off and he's like, I'm back. I'm back and I'm in force. I think he took June off. I think it was May when he went nuts. I'll be watching the chat on another monitor. No worries, Wheeze. You know what those campfire chats are good for? Upsetting everybody, bunch of articles, and then I can cover it Monday. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how we've been rolling with it, and it's been really good to us. They made everybody really mad. I came back from my break, did a show on it, and my monologue's just cooking everywhere. It's doing very, very well. Very, very exciting. I'll let you know if ExileCon has any huge news. Yeah. That'll want to be a little bit harder to suddenly start covering because that's like not really, that's not really my world, but we'll see. We'll see. He was stockpiling. Did you see Reforge guy's metrics? These numbers can't be right. Got a stream planned for tonight? Yes, tonight for the member stream. Casual Grinder! What are you doing? He's like, this is my stream now. Another 20 bomb. This guy's like, say my name. 257 members out of 275. Somebody help this man. Tag team with him. Don't let Casual Grinder steal all the glory. Somebody get up there on the stage with him and start picking away at this goal so we can Javier Cotto comes in with the 20 bomb, and he does it. He says, I'll stand up there with him. 277 out of 300. You guys are going to force this man, Stone Spire, to come out of the Discord. We usually have to ping him in the Discord because he sets up the big goals, and you guys slam it home every single month. Troll says, guys, chill. Oh, man. Weezy says for sure, but if they're really opening up accessibility to the less hardcore fans, it'll be a good thing for you to get in front of. Oh, for sure. For sure. I think it'll be difficult, Weezy, but you know what? It'll work. I guarantee you a lot of my audience is like, what's that game about, right? You know? What's that game about? And if I can give them the goods and give them the info, that could be a really, really good game for us. Crispy Bocaz says, what have I started? This is why I love this community. Wow, guys. Okay. So tonight, if you're a member, if you're one of the lucky people that got a membership today, make sure you get in the Discord because a lot of the times you'll miss out on the member streams. YouTube's gotten better at putting members' content in front of you and pinging you, but sometimes it doesn't do it, right? DK Beggar's like, I'm still here, ever poking that member goal and bumps it to 278. Thank you so much, DK Beggar. Setting it up nice for a 280 layup for another 20 bomb. Here's the deal. Tonight, we converted Friday nights with my wife into Friday night with Madam. It's not really game night with Madam. So we literally just kind of sit here and talk. It's like a talk show where she's here. You can do, AMA. You can ask her about things. Like, she makes fun of me. You guys love it. We have some drinks. We have some laughs. Then we're going to play that new really, really cool puzzle game on PlayStation called Viewfinder. We played the demo, and her and I just took turns solving the levels. We're going to do that tonight. It should be hilarious. After a few drinks, obviously. Those types of puzzles can be very funny. It's a really cool game. If you haven't checked it out yet, you definitely need to check out Viewfinder on PlayStation 5. I don't know if it's on any other platform right now. Did that game multi-platform release? Did it? Let me give you guys a member count. Let's see how close you are. You basically roast Lono for 2 hours. It's well worth the price of admission. 2763. I almost owe you 60. Let's just say I owe you 60. So that means 2820. You're 80 away and Casual Grinder drops another 20. That means you're about 60 away. This man is unstoppable. 298 out of 300. He is flexing on chat. You guys are just letting this man run victory laps. Look at the top of the chat. Three of the last 520 bombs are this man. This man. You were 80 away, now you're 60 away. You guys can do it. I'm going to ping Stone Spire just to be like, look, buddy, you better get ready. You better get ready. Better get ready. I think they are hitting 2,900 today. Tell you better get ready, buddy. You better get ready. My girlfriend let me off the leash. Man, you're not off the leash. You're running around the neighborhood. Good night. The big boys showed up to play. Here's the deal. Next month, you guys are really setting yourselves up for a really, really nice next month, okay? At 3,000 members, which you might hit today, I have to play Beat Saber in the Just Dance outfit. You guys remember the Just Dance outfit I got with like the headband and the short shorts, like the booty shorts? I got to play in that outfit. If you get to 3,500, I got to dress up like Luke Skywalker. If you get to 4,000, I got to dress like Jar Jar Binks. And I hate Jar Jar Binks. Those are your goals next month. You're going into August. If this goes the way that it's going today, if we get like 60 more members, then you're gonna be very set up nicely to hit those goals. He says he's still in the field. He says, don't worry, I'll bring it. He said, keep me updated. Okay, he wants me to keep him updated. Okay, so you guys need about 60 more, and then I'll slam home the ones that I owe. I'll do the gifteds that I owe you in the premiere. We've got a really, really good premiere today about Game Pass. It seems that day and date is changing, and I think that's going to be a really, really fun discussion. I'm going to debrief with VIPs, right? I'm tempted to do Member Plus today just to see if we can't get a bunch of people to convert to Member Plus. We're considering something. The first Friday of every month, the unfiltered VIP stream, I'm considering letting Member Pluses come along because I want to convince a bunch of you to jump out of the gifted member pool and become a Member Plus. It's $1 more. It's $6 instead of $5. But what it does is it frees up the gifted pool. We basically need conversion. These guys are super generous. Every month they go crazy. And we need some of y'all to jump in. Jump in on your own. Pick up your own membership. $6 a month. That's a cup of coffee, right? Buy one less cup of coffee a month and become a member here, all right? If you can't, right? If you cannot, okay, afford the membership, then keep watching and keep hanging out because the membership gifting just keeps going crazy. But it's a good way to ensure the people that cannot afford membership. It's a good way to bump up to Member Plus, right? VIP's $9.99. Keep it up. Don't stop teaching Soul Stands a lesson. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Lord Blaze. Who was I teaching a lesson today? I didn't teach anybody a lesson today. And let's see, what time is it? We're 1:54. I want to get this video to about 2,000 views, and then we'll head over to the premiere. Creature says, do it. I want to hear the VIPs cry. Okay. I never buy coffee when I'm out. Okay. Well, if you don't ever buy coffee when you're out, then buy mine. Buy Reforge Roast. It's probably cheaper than buying coffee all the time when you're out. And it's got balanced acidity. If you've never tried coffee with balanced acidity before, you owe it to yourself to try. Just one bag. Can you go to VIP on mobile? You should be able to. There's an upgrade command. Just click on the link in chat after the upgrade command. It should let you. I already bought a membership, but YouTube took it away when I merged my account, so I'm hoping you get gifted. No luck thus far. You taught me most gamers are entitled babies? How did we teach you that most gamers are entitled babies? Only a couple people were arguing that today, Wheezy. The lion's share of the chat was not arguing that. Yo, Patrick Q says, come on, guys, don't stop now. We're like 60 away from forcing Stonespire to drop a 100 bomb on chat. And he bumps the line to 299. A lot of members today. A banner day for Reforge Gaming. I'm so glad Lono agreed easy mode would get more sales. One from Adam and one from DK Beggar, both hitting the 300 and the Agent of Chaos. I didn't say that it would result in more sales. I actually said the risk would be less sales. You'd have to measure the people that you would lose with the people that you would gain. If you market your game as a Soulslike that has an easy mode, it would very much hurt it. It would very much hurt the game. You were teaching Soul Stands a lesson, so I'm being equally hyperbolic. Oh, I understand, Weez. Gwendolyn says, I usually pay for my own membership, and now I'm back on track with a great job, so I'll be doing that from now on again. For a couple of months, I was struggling. Hey, that's why the gifted members are so helpful. Any updates on Light Roast coming back? They're doing it right now. We paid for the bags. It's being roasted and bagged, and I'll have it. I should have it Sometime next month is my guesstimation. I know Creature was trying to reach out to them to get an updated timeline from them. So, what is this? Oh, let's see. Think some VIPs might downgrade because of this. It's only going to be once a month, human type person, so I don't think so. Like, the idea is bump up to Member Plus, okay? Bump up to Member Plus. You can sample the VIP stream, right? The first Friday every month, I'll let the pluses come along. And since we didn't get to do it in July, I'll do it today. I'll let Member Pluses come along, and I'll be like, hey, you guys can sample what it's like. Me and Creature hanging out, talking unfiltered, okay? But the rest of the month, VIP Unfiltered will be just for VIPs. So you can sample it. If you like it, bump up to VIP. If not, well, you just enjoy it once a month. I don't think people would drop down because you'd be getting less content. And I think people have generally liked the VIP streams. We usually have about 300 VIPs in roughly. So that'd be weird. That would be kind of odd, I think. Changes coming to VIP? No, not changes coming to VIP. We're just thinking that once a month, I would let Member Pluses come to a VIP stream just so they could sample it. But then the rest of the month, VIP would be exactly the same. We would still be doing the VIP stream. It would just be like we'd let Member Pluses in once a month. I'm so downgrading. I'm only here for the coffee and the exclusivity and the prestige of the VIP streams. Actually, Hilly should really be carrying this cross. As a VIP, I don't care who's in the stream. Can't speak for anyone else, though. The more, the better. I'm also downgrading because I'm only here for you, Zubair, says Wheezy. This new game, is it in Game Pass? As far as I know, I don't think Lords of the Fallen is coming to Game Pass. Because it would be at the end of the video... Because this is on the Xbox channel. At the end of the video, I feel like it would say it right here. It would say it and it doesn't say it. It just says Xbox Series X and S. So, I don't think so. Do not think so. Okay, hang on. Let's get an exact count. Because right now at 300 members, I owe you an even 60. So... 2717, all right? 2717 plus my 60, 277. So you now need... You don't need 123. You don't. Because if you get 100, I'll give you 20. Oh, I think I miscounted earlier. Yeah, you guys need 100, don't you? Because 60 would only give you 15. 60 would get us to 85. Yeah. Well, we might have lost some, actually, because I don't know if we were at 2717 a little bit ago. I think we might be losing a little bit while we're gaining. You guys might have to go a little bit harder if we're going to hit it today. Thank you. I like Souls games. I like the challenge. I like the competition. The Souls games are fun, and I have Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Sekiro, Bloodborne, and Lords of the Fallen pre-order. The Souls games are fun. Yeah. I mean, this one, they show really early gameplay right here, just to kind of give you a sample of what it would be like. And I think the game looks incredibly promising. This is one that I think is going to sneak into Game of the Year. My math says they need another 503. What? Why would they need 503? We're trying to get to 2,900 to force Stonespire to drop his 100 bomb. If we don't hit it today, we're still set up really nicely walking into next month. Anyone how difficult this game will be? I mean, based on the combat, this is going to be as difficult as Elden Ring. You have a lot of magic. You have a lot of range at your disposal. It's not purely melee. And the attack, like that right there, is some magic. Got to watch out for the enemy's magic. You got to watch out for the enemy's attacks. He misses here. He parries here. You got a lot at your disposal. It sounds like a good number. 503 works fine for my purposes. I don't think we're going to suddenly get 503 members right now. Won't Armored Core be nominated before this game? My math says there's going to need more slots for Game of the Year nominations. That's what I'm saying, John, always. There's so many games. So many games. You've got Zelda, you got Hogwarts, you got Final Fantasy 16, you got Armored Core, you got Spider-Man 2, you got Lords of the Fallen. I mean, Remnant 2 is probably not going to get a Game of the Year nomination. Anytime now, because we're going to go to a premiere in a little bit. I'm not doing the show with Mike, so you don't have to bring lunch late. Best year in gaming ever is a huge year for gaming. I mean, Starfield could drop and absolutely turn the tide of everybody's opinions, right? Baldur's Gate 3. Do we think this is basically the last of the sicky delays hitting? Yeah, Lies of P is coming this year. My girlfriend said tell Ono half was from her. Well, tell her I said thank you. I really, really appreciate it. The generosity today, Casual Grinder, was just... It was unreal. It was unreal. We're going to have to... Well, we've only been streaming for about 2 hours. If we can hold a good view count and a good turnout right now, we bounce back a little bit. We got a good amount of people here. We could push. You guys need about 100 more members, and then you're going to force Stonespire to come in and drop his 100 bomb. I currently owe you 60. If you guys drop another 100, I'll owe you 80, and then we'll be good. We'll be perfect. Starfield will drop and burn my PC, right? I need, really, out of the 309 people here right now, we don't even need big bombs anymore. We just need, what? We need 20 people to drop a 5 bomb? Just do a 5 bomb train. That's a lot easier than the 20 bomb train. Look at the top of chat. That's insane. That doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. AOZ's going to gift a member. He's like, come on, boys. Many hands make light work. Let's bump the line. Thank you very much, AOZ. We don't hold the line here. We bump the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 20 bombs at the top of the chat. Dan says if it doesn't happen today, it'll be harder on Monday. That's true. That's true. If you guys are trying to force Stonespire's hand, you got to rally today. You're going to get hurt over the weekend. 30 days ago, we had some big days. I want my finances to look like Casual Grinder when I grow up. Casual Grinder becoming a legend at the very end of July. You love to see it. Great community here. I agree, Slickness. The first game was made years ago. I started a replay last week and really enjoying it. It's a really big from ground up rework, but the older game is very cheap to try. What studio is behind this game? What's their name? Hex something? Hang on a second. Casual Grinder. He says, come on, boys. Let's do it. A 5 gifted member train. Risic and Javier Cotto coming in with the double 50 bombs. Casual Grinder gives the line a little bit of a poke. Just a little bit of a poke. And another 100 members come in, taking us to 407 on the day. Chat is going to be hijacked for the next 10 minutes. Risic and Javier Cotto, the tag team 50 bombs. What is even happening? This community is crazy. Risic said, I heard y'all want some members. Him and Javier, dude. Woo! I repeat for the people in the back, says Zubair. Holy yeah. What is going on? Casual Grinder's like, hey, hold on a minute. I got a little bit more. I got a little bit more in the pocket. 412. Another 5 bomb from Casual Grinder. Good night, nurse. What's the count? I can't give you a count until they stop getting added. They don't count until chat's done, YouTube lurker. Oh, no, YouTube lurkers here. Oh, no. Everybody, hold on, everybody, hold on to your hats, chat. YouTube lurkers here. All right, the chat's got to stop. Chat's got to stop or I can't give you a total. Chat has literally been just absolutely hijacked. No one can even talk. Listen, if you got a gifted membership right now, it's a great time to upgrade to Member Plus. $1. It's $1 to upgrade to Member Plus, and you can come to the VIP stream today. Casual Grinder just keeps poking the line with 5 bombs as well. 417. Another 5. He cannot be stopped. Once the chat stops, I'll refresh the back end, and I'll give you a count, YouTube lurker. I'll give you a count. Oh, my word. Javier's is still going. Casual Grinders snuck in, and Javier's still going. Oh, we have more gifted than viewers. We did it. We have 417 gifted members, and we only have 314 viewers. Lowest view count we've had in a long time, but this over here doesn't seem to care. Another 5. Another 5. He's so ornery. He just keeps poking the line. 422. Casual Grinder. The legend. The absolute legend. Is it over? Okay, it's done. Hang on. Let me refresh the back end. Okay. Whoo-wee. 2838. You did it, because I owe you 80. We hit it. Because if I do 80, we're going to be at 2918. Hang on. We did it. Once I gift mine, we will have 2918. Javier Cotto says, let's do a little bit more, and takes us to 427. These guys are legends. Javier Cotto, Rissick, Casual Grinder just keeps doing it. What are you doing? He just keeps poking it with a 5. What is going on? Javier and Casual just poking. Just little 5 pokes. Good night, nurse. You guys are going to hit it without my help, by the way. I haven't even done mine. I haven't even done what I owe. We're at 2848. You're 50 away on your own. Look, without mine. We'll be halfway to 3,500 at this rate. Yeah, you're going to lose a chunk over the weekend because what was 30 days ago? Let me look at the analytics. Yeah, on June 30th, we had a massive day. So that's exactly 30 days ago. So tomorrow, we'll lose a chunk. But you guys just gave yourself a ton of padding. I should probably just do mine now. Hang on. 432. So I owe you 85. 85. Okay. Another 5 from Casual Grinder. Takes it to 437. He cannot be stopped. Another 5 from Javier. What? This is our life now, chat. This is our life. Who's in the lead for the Eknor Award? Casual Grinder clearly right now is in the lead for the Eknor Award. Well, I don't know. Some people went a little bit crazy before I went on my trip, but I'm fairly certain that Casual Grinder's in the lead for the Eknor Award. Without a doubt. Donkey Sausage comes in with a 20 bomb, 462 out of 475. Another 5 from Casual Grinder, 467 out of 475. Another 5 from JW takes it to 472 out of 475. I can't even keep up. I can't even keep my wife said my math skills are improving. If you guys get to 500, I owe you a single crispy 100 bomb. Good night. Hang on, Lone, ain't over yet. Apparently not. You're so... Quiet Shy is going to have a fun time counting all these. She's really, really good. She's really good. Yo, Behemoth! This man, he dropped some bombs earlier this month, and he's dropping another one. 492 on the doorstep of 500, and 497, another 5 from Casual Grinder Behemoth with the 20 bomb. Ooh, that felt so good. I popped my hip. That felt amazing. That I popped my hip. My wife said, title your sex tape. Oh, I can't have those apples. They do something. They tear me up, and I don't know why. No, those apples, I get, the last couple of times I've had lunch, those apples tear me up. I don't know what it is. Is it extra fiber? What, did you inject them with fiber? Thank you, Air Drawmeyer. Says, Hexworks is the studio making Lords of the Fallen. This is their first game, but they say they consist of experienced people. Remind people how to accept gifted. You're at 502. Oh, Casual did another 5? No, because we were at 492 and his 5 took us to 497. What kind of MF gets torn up by MF and apples? I don't know. It's got to be these apples in particular. I don't know what it is. My grandma popped her hip, cost me $500. Javier Cotto comes in with another 20 bomb and takes us to 517. If you guys think I missed 5, I'll just do it. I'll bump it to 522. I'll give you another 5. I don't know what's going on. I might have missed one. All right, hang on. I owe you guys 100. Apple Sturdy Lono. What do you think he is? Snow White? Tell me it's payday for everyone without telling me it's payday for everyone. How do you like them apples? You popped your hip. Welcome to being old. No, I intentionally pop it. It feels good. You don't ever do that? You don't ever like stretch your legs like out? You know, like that exercise? And your hips just like, pow, pow. Oh, it feels so good. All right, hang on. I owe you guys 100. I need to do that right now. I got to do 250 bombs. 250 bombs. Everybody just chill for a frickin' second. All right? Just chill. I've got to do mine now. I'm not going to do them on the premiere. Let's just get them all out of the way, and then we'll go to the premiere as we just steadily lose viewers. Javi, freaking Casual Grinder. This guy is so ornery. I'm like, just hold on a minute. Let me do it. And he's like, You ornery son of a gun. I now owe you another 5 bomb after I do my 100. Casual's a menace. He is a menace. He will not stop. I leave for like 15 minutes and it gets crazy. Casual says, F you. F you, take my money. He's a freaking madman, dude. Wait, I've never popped a hit before and I'm 25. Is that weird? Ooh, I just popped the other one. It feels so good. You've never done that before? Toxic generosity. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Toxic generosity. You gotta watch out for it. Another 5. I like how he's just not saying anything. I like how he's just not saying anything. He's just periodically doing it. He's so ornery. Remember paydays vaguely? I've never popped my hip either. That doesn't sound right. Javier Cotto. I can't even yell anymore. Javier Cotto, 537. Can you just stop? I have to do another 50 bomb. Can you guys just stop it for a second? Dadgummit, Casual Grinder with another 5. What in the actual frick are you doing? Like, just stop it for a second. I have to do my other 50. I need the chat to stop before I can do mine. I liked it at DK Bager with another gifted member. Seriously, quit it. I need to just have the chat clear, and then I'm going to drop my 50. Okay, that's DK's. I'm going to go. I'm going fast. It's a race. 50. It's spinning. Stop spinning. Go. Here it comes. Come on. I got it. That was right. It was a race, and I won. Freaking Casual. No, mine should hit first. That's not fair. Why are his going first? What is this? This aggression will not stand, man. This aggression will not stand. His got to hit before mine hit. That's not fair. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. That's not fair. Mine went through first. What the frick is this crap? Someone time this man out. We're about to have double the members versus viewers. We are. Good night, nurse. It doesn't work for me. I only have one leg. You can get creative. Stop it. Oh, man. I can't believe you guys have never popped your hit before. Casual Grinder with another 5, taking us to 553. I'm sorry. I'm not even used to saying that high of a number. Bans, too many gifted. Casual deserves a crown next to his name. Casual with unlimited money. My bank would call me if I ever did this. They'd be like, "Hey, buddy, is everything okay? What are you doing over there? Why are you doing that?" Hang on. I got my YouTube receipts. Just gonna delete those. I don't need those. Okay. Is popping a hip like popping your knuckles? Yeah. It's just, you've never stretched. You've never, like, gone down to, like, a catcher's position and had, like, your knees and your ankles and your hips, like, crack. Like, oh, it feels so good. Another 5 from Cat. It's like a bot at this point. It just keeps happening. It just keeps happening. All right, let me give you guys a member count. We were supposed to get 2,900 and 4 Stone Spire to do hit. We're at 3,067. You're too slow, Stone Spire. Old man, you're too slow. Okay, for the premiere. Well, right now I owe... I already did the other 50, sorry. But I owe... Oh, hang on. He did another one. 63. Okay, so right now I owe 10. I still owe some. He won't stop. He literally won't quit. I guess I'm just gonna eat my lunch. We can't go to the premiere. Oh, there's a lime here. He's been selling NFTs to buy those gifted. My bank calls about $20. This guy's over here killing it. That's what I'm saying. I'm actually worried that something is wrong with Casual. He did another one. What? Hang on. There we go. I had some lime on my finger. 68. We're going to go to 75, I guess. I don't even know what's happening. They're all going to randos? I don't think they are going to randos. I'm recognizing some of these names. I've seen these people in here before. Like, I've seen Jake Lightning in here before. A different era. I know these names. Epic Gameplays. Well, yeah, there's Wooly. I see Wooly. Wooly just got one. I recognize these names. It's not even hitting randoms yet. It isn't. Wait, did he just do another one? Do I need to bump it again? First time I've been here? That's enough. That's enough for Casual Grinder. It's going to be a mix of old... Oh, come on. It's going to be a mix of old and new. I launched rice right out of the bowl. I was trying to mix it, and there was some on the back of the spoon, and it just launched it over the side of the bowl. Yes, he did another. All right, hang on. 73. Do this. Thankfully, it was just one piece of rice. Okay. It is randoms. I'm new here. Yeah, it's not all randoms, though. Like, about half of the names I recognize. Javier Cotto. Can't be stopped. 583. Listen, I said these are the perfect days to do this. I was like, it's mostly, you know, the core audience. And I know what a membership does. A membership gives you a badge in my chat. You can use my emotes in my chat. You have access to my members-only Discord, and you have access to members-only content. We all know from Madam's disapproval that Lono doesn't vacuum the studio. That rice will live on forever. I believe my account is bugged or something. If it's a branded account, I think sometimes branded accounts can't get them. All right, listen. Stonespire might have to do his 100 next week. All right? He might have to do his 100 next week. Okay? If you get this to 600, I'll owe you 20. I'll do those 20. I'll do those 20 in the premiere, and then we can be done for the day. Y'all gotta chill. You gotta chill, daddy. Was this the highest single day of gifted members? I think so. I think previously the record was like maybe 400, maybe low 500s. I think isn't this the highest? I don't know if we've ever gotten into the 600s on member gifting, have we? Him and Sloan to get a robo vacuum. I got the side eye. Yeah, you got it. You got casual. You need to chill. We're at 3,087. It was a branded account. I merged it. I was a member on my brand account, which is why I lost my membership. I may just end up buying it twice. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Oh, 630 is the record. Okay, I didn't know that 630 was the record. This guy says, thank you for the gifted sub. I don't even see, you don't even seem to have one. I think maybe he's just assuming he got one. Oh, that's amazing. That's truly amazing. Is that 630 including Lonos? No, I never put mine in this total. I don't. I use this to track how much I owe you. So if we hit 630 over here, that was all you guys. Casual slacking if you haven't broken the record yet. We should pivot to COD even more. No, 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 no. Today is, oh my gosh, YouTube Larker. What a legend. He says, I'll get us there. Good night. Isn't that 6:33? Right? Right? That's 6:33, isn't it? Yeah. YouTube Lurker's like, what's the record? What's the record, Bob? Oh, 6:30? Okay. I told y'all to watch out. Yeah, I'm still recognizing the names. I am still recognizing the names of people that are getting them. I am. And a lot of these accounts are old accounts. They're not like brand new accounts. I like records, says YouTube Lurker. Yeah, like I've seen Millington Design here before. I've seen a lot of these people here before. Maximum Spider I've seen here before. Yeah, I recognize some of the avatars. YouTube Lurker goated. He's freaking crazy. Now listen to me. Listen to me. If you're one of the lucky people that just got gifted a membership and you're like, I've only been here once or twice before, I've never been here before. We do a daily talk show like this every day. Today we were covering Lords of the Fallen. I was breaking down the gameplay. We're getting ready to go to a premiere about Game Pass. I feel like day and date is changing with the introduction of Game Pass Core. Do me a favor. Smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Let's hit 300 likes. It was a lighter turnout day for us, but we went insane with gifted members. We have a members-only Discord that you now have access to if you're a member. You can use the Discord link in the description of the video, right? Javier Cotto says, we're not done. Takes us to 6:38. All right. I will be doing a VIP-only stream after the premiere, but I'm going to let member pluses come along. So if you want to upgrade your membership, right now is the time to do it. It's $1 more. You bump up to member plus. It takes you out of the gifted pool, and then you're taking care of your membership every month, okay? If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Tonight, every Friday night, I do a stream with my wife, just for members. All members, even gifteds, everybody. We sit, we talk, we have some drinks, we have some laughs, and then we'll play a game at the end of the night. We'll be doing Viewfinder tonight. And, yeah, currently we don't have 313 VIPs. It actually fell a little bit. It's, we have 277. Yeah, the next milestone for VIPs is 350. Yeah, no show for Mike today. Mike couldn't make it. Yeah, let me update Nightbot. And then we gotta get a move on. We gotta boogie, because we're losing people. We're currently at, whoops, 277. Yeah, the next VIP milestone is 350. And Creature and I don't have to play a game together. We played Returnal the last time. Are you going to show Game Pass Core? In the premiere, I show the 4 options you have for Game Pass. Let me schedule the premiere right now. I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes. I'm going to give you 15 minutes. Oh, I need a VIP thumbnail, Creature. I'm going to schedule it for today. at 1 p.m. This is a premiere, ambient, save. Yeah, that's 14 minutes from now. Close. It'll be the featured video on the channel as well. And then this stream will redirect to it. Okay. There we go. Changes submitted. Day and date actually changing? I believe that it is. I believe we're seeing the early stages of day and date changing with the introduction of Game Pass Core, and I'll make my argument in the video. It is speculation in theory, but they have introduced a new version of Game Pass that does not get day and date. I believe it's the beginning. Some of these dudes don't know how to accept gifteds and they don't read chat. Guys, if you're trying to accept gifteds, when it pops up in chat, there should be a button that says accept gifts. If you can't get that to work, click the join button or the $ button. Go to the membership page. There's 3 dots up in the right-hand corner. When you click those 3 dots, there'll be a toggle gift option. Go in and toggle your gifts on, and then toggle them back off again. Okay? And then I'm going to schedule the VIP stream that I scheduled today is going to include Member Plus. Yeah, you have to turn on gifteds. You have to turn on to... Why does the Ubisoft video not have a thumbnail all of a sudden? Oh, there it goes. YouTube acting crazy on the back end. Go live. Schedule stream. I'm going to use this debrief. Visibility, Member Plus or higher at 115. Chat, members only. That and that. I'll put us in, I guess I'll put us in Starfield. Game Pass changes debrief. Okay. All right. I just need that thumbnail, creature. 638 members. That's right. That's right. You guys have 11 minutes if you want to round it out to 650. When we go over into the new stream, I currently owe you 25 members. Stone Spire owes 100. Welcome back. YouTube was less fun while you were away. Thank you. It would be nice if Gifted was on by default. I don't think they want it on by default because they don't want people to be like, some people have like their real name. That is their YouTube name. So, yeah, the premiere will be uploaded on this channel. I'm going to redirect you to it. I'll also put a link in chat to the premiere. It should take you, when this stream ends, it should take you there. And there's a chat and everything. It's kind of like the stream continues on. It's just an upload about Game Pass. Does gifting work even if you don't watch the channel? I don't know why sometimes people get a gifted membership to my channel and they're like, I've never watched your channel. Maybe you did in the past and you don't realize it. I've covered live events. So maybe Future Game Show or E3 or Summer Game Fest. Well, not E3, but Summer Game Fest or the Xbox Showcase or the Starfield Direct. You may have watched one of my live co-streams and didn't realize you were watching, like, my channel. Or maybe you have enough audience commonality with my channel. I don't know. I don't know why that happens sometimes, Dokkan Battle. I don't. I do a daily Safe for Work live show where we talk video games. Today, we were talking Lords of the Fallen. I broke down all the gameplay. I said it's a new take on Souls. They've got some fresh ideas. So, and you don't have to be actively watching to get one. Like Stuart got one, but he's been here before. So the more loyal you are to the channel, the more likely you should get them every month. we go so crazy, I think YouTube sometimes gets a little confused, and it grabs loyal viewers, but it also grabs people who, as I said, maybe you've just watched, you know, maybe just watched it once or twice before. All right, we got nine minutos. I have to have the thumbnail before 9 minutes, creature. I can't set up redirect if the member stream's not scheduled. So even if it's sloppy, I need something. I guess I could just set it to the Reforge, the Refuge thumbnail if we don't have time to make it. But once the premiere starts, I cannot edit the redirect. Guess I got lucky. I was sleeping and had never watched this channel until now. Well, hopefully you like it. Hopefully you like it. We have a very generous community, as you can see. We have a very active members-only Discord. We do live streams, uploads. We do members-only streams every single day. It's very, very active channel. It's a safe for work broadcast. It's kind of like a podcast or a radio show. You can throw me on in the background of your day. You don't got to worry about the kind of language that I'm going to use. Now, Friday nights, if you come to like a members-only stream, like tonight, I'll be streaming with my wife. If you come to that, you know, there might be some swearing, but again, that's like a Friday night members-only stream. It's not like a normal day-to-day talk show stream. AI is bringing us good people. Stuart gifts a member. He pays it forward after receiving a gifted member and bumps it to 39. Somebody bumped that to 640, and somebody can slam home a 10 bomb, round it out to 650. So I should accept the gift gaming membership? You kind of already have. That's what's so weird. I don't understand how people get memberships to a channel they say they never watched before. How did you accept the gift then? Can you change that globally? Can you say, like, globally you're willing to be gifted memberships? That's what I don't understand. You're supposed to, like, say, oh yes, I'll accept a gifted membership to that channel. That's the thing I don't understand. Okay, there we go. All right, we got the VIP scheduled. Let me go in here, edit the premiere, edit the redirect. We'll go there, save it, and then I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to have the VIP redirect back to... Yo, Borbs is going to gift 10. He's going to put us on the doorstep. Thank you so much, Borbs. 649. 649. Round this out. A nice 650 will be the new record. It'll be the new record on the channel, which is just crazy to say. Yeah, I know. Remember when military shooter games strived for realism? I blame Fortnite for every multiplayer live service having to have wild but random crossovers. What are you guys doing? 8 more. Okay. All right. 8 more. 5 from Rissick, and Soul Train, and Cavex, and Dwayne. All right. I'm going to retweet that guy. Yeah, man, like zombie modes were so realistic. Let's get back to the rigid military shooter realism where I can summon a pack of dogs to get kills for me. it's just funny to me, man. The things that people get bent about, you know? Xbox Game Pass, Xbox, and then I need the thumbnail. Copy. All right, I'm getting everything set up. We got 4 minutes. Yo, what's good, Brap? What games you playing this weekend? Well, my wife and I tonight are going to play Viewfinder on the PS5, that really creative puzzle game. I did get early access to Atlas Fallen, so I'm going to be playing that and writing down my thoughts. I will be able to give you guys a embargo-timed review on the 9th of next month, so I can't tell you anything right now, but I will be able to have an upload for you about Atlas Fallen, the one with like the sand and stuff. So I'll probably try and play that a little bit over the weekend as well. I played it a little bit last night, and but we will be playing Viewfinder tonight. That super creative photo puzzle-y game where you can alter reality with photos. That should be fun. A good weekend. My daughter is playing Chia, so she'll play that tomorrow, and my son's playing like the Lego detective game where you're like a cop. Love to see your success. You deserve it. Thank you, Tommy Humphreys, for 20 months and a member plus. You the best. All right, guys, in 2 minutes, we are going over to a premiere about Game Pass. I'm going to need your help. As soon as we get over on the premiere, I need you guys to smash like crazy. I owe you... What is that? Because I did it at 500, and you got another 100. So I owe you 25. I owe you 30 members. If you're a member, if you got a member, you're going to get a ping in a little bit about a stream that's a VIP stream, but we're going to let you in if you upgrade to Member Plus. So I'm going to ping you in a little bit about that. If you're a standard member, for $1, you can bump up to Member Plus. We're trying to get more people to convert and like jump up out of the member pool that's always gifted, and we're going to tantalize you with that VIP stream. You cannot come to all the VIP streams. Every Friday we do an unfiltered stream with my producer. We're going to let you get a little taste today if you bump up to Member Plus. But the rest of the month, you will have to be a VIP. But Friday nights are for everybody. Every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, you can come hang out with my wife and I. We talk to you, we have some drinks, we have some laughs, and then we end the night with the video game. So tonight we'll be ending the night with Viewfinder. We're getting ready to go to a premiere right now about Xbox Game Pass. Day and date is changing. I've got some theories. You're going to want to go watch this. So click the link in chat. Thank you, Talika, for 14 months, 14 and climbing. When this video ends, it will take you to the new video. If it doesn't, it'll be the featured video on my channel. Go over, watch this premiere. If you want to give me a piece of your mind about Game Pass, you're going to have to bump up to Member Plus if you want to come with us to the debrief after. So let's head over now. I'll see you guys over there.